Let's kick this shit off. Who's reading?
I'll go up. I'll read it. The party arrived at Burgomaster Baron Vargas Vlakovich's mansion,
Vallaki.
where they were offered access to his renowned library in exchange for investigating supernatural phenomena plaguing the manor. Purple lights, cold draughts, and ghostly apparitions that had driven staff members away. While investigating, the party split up. Torin and Zavath interviewed the cook, Tereska, who described eerie encounters in the attic and mentioned that Victor, the burgomaster's son, spent days isolated there and had been depressed since a strange illness struck the Watcher girl 2 months prior. Meanwhile, Jynx discovered a shocking revelation in the library. A genealogical tome revealed that Irina Drozny had died 18 years ago at age 4, parents dying by suicide shortly after. Raising profound questions about the Irina traveling with them, the party eventually met Victor in his attic workshop, where he kept his reanimated skeletal cat, Mirka, and practiced magic in secret using a spellbook bearing Khazan's sigil, the same symbol from the mysterious ring. Victor confessed he had created the ghost phenomena using mirror magic to undermine his father's reputation. Fearing severe punishment if his magical practices were discovered, the party negotiated a deal. They would stage an exorcism to satisfy Baron Vargas, and in return, Victor shared crucial information from Khazan's spellbook about the Amber Temple, a temple on Lake Baratok with powerful enchantments, and the staff Khazan that could restore creatures to life. Victor agreed that if the party retrieved the staff for him to fully revive Mirka, they could have the spellbook, and he directed them to find Zoldar, a hunter who knew the western lands. After successfully deceiving Baron Vargas with their staged exorcism, the party escorted Irina back to the Blue Water Inn, where she reacted with disgust upon learning Izek had commissioned a doll in her likeness. The party then visited the Vistani encampment to share their findings with Casimir, who expressed shock that the legendary Amber Temple and Silver Dragon might be real, warning that the lands of West Vallaki were increasingly dangerous and that Khazan had supposedly been killed centuries ago.
If I'm not mistaken, when we finished the last session, Jynx and Gravin were finishing up the silver inlay on his other hand and then heading out to meet you guys at the Vistani camp. That was where we left off.
That was me with you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so where we left off, let me just make sure I have this right. We ended right after you all talked to everybody in the Vistani camp, right?
Yes.
Okay,
And
and
we
then
had
you all
told
were
them
heading now to. Okay, we're all
Yeah,
caught
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Okay,
We
okay.
had just took our first
Yep.
step on the journey to the cabin.
That's right. Okay. The cabin itself is going to be about, probably 30 minutes of a walk.
Okay.
Let me pull up the right fucking thing here. All right. As you all step out the western gate of Vallaki, you all know that essentially the shack should be just to the west, somewhere along the banks of Lake Zarovich, right?
Mhm.
So, as you all make your way, the path ahead is uneven, littered with pebbles, and overgrown in parts by moss and wild grass. To the left, the trees of the Slavic woods stand tall and foreboding. To the right, a chill breeze sweeps in from the lake, tinged with a faint brackish scent and the damp earthiness of old silt. Other than the mournful croak of a distant raven, the only sound that breaks the eerie silence is the squelching of mud beneath your feet and the quiet lapping of the waves against the shores. It's not long, however, before the air is tinged with a faint scent of fur and a familiar metallic tang. Ahead, you can hear the sound of rushing water and see a place where the dark where the dark waters of the lake flow swiftly into the river that disappears southward into the dark woods. A small, crudely built shack stands tucked away near the water's edge, its timbers worn and weathered with age. Not far away, an old stone still stands atop a circular foundation, tightly packed with moss-covered stones. The door to the shack is partly ajar, and you all can see smoke coming from the chimney from inside. Along the outside of the shack, you have various rope lines with various hides, most of them being wolves. Wolves. That seem to be drying, or the hides are being worked on.
Okay. I think Jynx would try to make a little noise, just shout, "Zoldar, are you home?"
You hear rumbling from inside. You hear two different male voices. One kind of goes, "Huh," and a muffled sound. Somebody say something.
Yep, it was me. Oi.
Grizzly man that you all immediately recognize from the Blue Water Inn kind of pops his head out and looks at you all and kind of looks like surprised. Kind of like, what the fuck are you all doing out here?
How the fuck did you find my house?
Yeah. He kind of looks for a second. I know you. What brings you out this way?
Well, we were told that you might know how to get to a tower nearby, and we were given a rough approximation of where your house was, so we figured we'd come looking.
Um, all right. He kind of steps to the side and opens the door. He kind of looks around outside real quick. Says, "Well, we're not just gonna stand outside. Come on," and waves you guys into the shack.
Yeah.
You all can fit. It's a bit of a tight squeeze between all of the various tables and tools that him and his brother have in here. As you all walk in, the walls are pretty cramped. Shack is stained dark with age and use. Knives, cleavers, traps, and chains hang from the walls. Each one well cleaned and oiled, though. And there's, again, just various pelts hanging from the rafters everywhere you look. But Zoldar turns and says, "Brother, we have company." His brother looks up. Yes, the drinking bunch. Zoldar looks back at you and says, "Well, we do know the land pretty well. You said a tower. Which tower? There's a couple of towers."
Khazan's tower?
Kind of like looks at his brother for a minute. Can you describe it? I don't know it by that name.
Ancient
Andral?
tower, some sort of magic field that keeps magic from occurring there. Old wizard used to live there, died a couple centuries ago.
The Mad Mage's Tower.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, I do know where it is. It depends on what exactly you're looking for. Are you wanting us to take you there, or just give directions?
It depends on how much time you got, I guess, and what that would cost us. I mean, we're willing to discuss it with you, but either option's good for us.
I mean, we do specialize in being guides in this area. Not too terribly far, probably a 3-hour trek from here.
Not bad at all, actually.
No, not at all. The longest points of travel are from the village of Barovia all the way to Vallaki. Everything west is within 5 to 6 hours of Vallaki.
Okay.
Unless you go to Mount Gaklik or whatever the fuck that is. What is that? Gakis. Mount Gackus. It's a whole different animal to the south, but anything along the paved roads are roughly 5 to 6 hours walking speed.
Okay.
If you want us to go with you, it would be 25 gold a piece per hour. If you just want the directions, I'll give you the directions for 10 gold.
What do you think, Phyllis? That's going to be a 6-hour round trip.
Not counting exploring time.
Right. I'd rather just get the directions.
Yeah,
And
directions
he would explain that his services, it's both of them going, obviously, which is double price, so 50 an hour. But they are willing to guide you and teach you things along the way. And also, if for some reason a conflict were to happen, they would have no issue standing by your all side. They can't guarantee your safety, but they would at least give it a go. But it's up to you all.
I don't know. Between the 4 of us, I think we can split 300 gold for it.
How much gold do we have?
Are we paying for there and back, or just there? It was just there.
It would be
Mother-
there.
Mother script.
Well, I guess that's for you all to determine, right?
Once we get there, I don't think that we need them to wait for us or guide us back,
Agreed.
right? So we can
Yeah, but-
cut half the cost out.
Yeah, but it's their time of traveling back as well is the only thing I'm thinking of.
Well, yeah,
We
it's going to
can-
be 6 hours back. Or not 6 hours, Jesus, 3.
Okay. So you would charge us for the trip back regardless.
Yes, it's a round trip.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
I
it's
didn't. I thought you all were just talking travel times in general. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they would charge you there and back, so a total of 6 hours.
Okay.
So
Um, I'm sure that there's ways to make some more gold in Vallaki. I'm not worried about spending a little bit to get there safely and learn some things from these guys. I've got that platinum pendant that we can always sell if we need to, and a couple gemstones.
Yeah, I don't mind chucking in 75 gold.
I mean, sure. At this point, I mean, anything we find, we could always sell. I agree.
and I mean they would straight up be honest with you guys. They're hunter trappers. They've been traveling these lands for as long as they can remember. They know it like the back of their hands, at least most of it. It seems to be honest. They're not bullshitting you all. They take a lot of pride in that they do know this land so well. They
I mean,
would
we-
tell.
we-
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say we had a pretty good interaction with them, or at least Jynx did in the inn.
Yeah.
So I don't have a reason not to trust
Yeah.
them at this point.
No, they're
Agreed.
Yeah. they seem legit. They would tell you that if that's the case, they have some things that they need to take care of this evening. And the earliest that they could leave would be first thing in the morning at sunlight.
Yeah, we can't go till first thing in the morning anyway.
Yeah, so it's perfect timing, to be fair.
I'm going to go ahead and pull out 75 gold and put it on the table for them.
I pull mine out.
Yeah, I do the exact same.
As
So-
everything is collected, Zoldar puts it in a leather pouch and puts it up on a shelf. And he says, "It's here until we get back." You have my word. It'll be here.
Sounds good, boss.
Are there any basic
Werewolf.
tools you might need? Obviously, I'm sure we all have rations, and
Yeah.
just in case things go south and we get stuck out a little bit longer than we expect.
Well, what would you recommend? What are the basics?
And we have weapons and food and ways to protect ourselves, but not much beyond that.
No, I mean for this, it shouldn't be terrible. That's plenty. I just wanted to make sure. I'll probably make one more trip into town tonight, and if we just needed anything from the shop, I was offering to grab it. But if we have food, water, and he kind of like checks all your all's weapons out, he says, they're even silvered. Y'all are fine.
Yeah, I've been maintaining our weapons. You've seen what I can do with a scrap piece of steel, so we should be good there. We're going to hit the stores in the morning after we get up, actually. You want us to meet you here? You want to meet us at the Vallaki camp? How do you want to do this? What's the easiest place to leave from?
Well, honestly, we're going this way west anyways. I'll be up ready to go at sunrise, and as you all come through, we'll be
Okay.
ready.
We'll hit the stores as soon as they open, and then we'll head this way.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate it, gentlemen.
Yeah, you all have cordial conversation. He says if you guys are in town later and sees them at the inn, because of course if they're in town they're gonna stop for a brew. You all are
course
more than
they are.
welcome to join them in a what they call the pre-game tradition.
Mm.
And they just go on to explain a little bit how before any adventure or going anywhere dangerous, they all kind of get together the night before, have a couple drinks, and really just enjoy the time that him and his brother have just in case. Right. Other than that, that's all I got as far as their shack goes. It's nothing absolutely crazy.
Okay. Well, let's head back to town then, and maybe we might be able to get to the shops tonight, and we can hit St. Andral's right after, depending on what time we get back, because we're not supposed to be there till late, if I'm not mistaken. Not just after dark, but well after people have gone to bed and everything.
Yeah, essentially, Father, was it Donovich? I can't remember which
Yeah,
one. No, it's not.
sounds
Is it
right.
Donovich? No, Donovich is the one from
Barovia.
Yeah.
Barovia.
Mhm.
It's the other one.
Father Liam or something like that. Starts with L.
Lucian.
Lucian, there you go.
Petrovich.
Yes, Lucian Petrovich.
Yeah.
He said to come back later, like in the midnight, when most people would be asleep, or at least the church would be empty.
But
Yeah.
as we're walking out, Jynx is gonna turn around and pop his head back in and just ask, "Do you guys know anything about Father Petrovich at the church in St. Andrew's? Know anything about the bones? Anything at all? Do you guys know anything about any of that? Anything useful, at least?"
Kind of look at each other and like half-hearted chuckle. They have their beliefs. Father Lucian himself is a wonderful individual. Never had anything to fight about with him. Never heard anything wrong about him. He'd give you the shirt off his back, even if it meant he was going to die. As far as the bones go, we all know the myths. Apparently, the bones are what protects the town, if you ask him. But if you ask the burgomaster, the sacrifices, excuse my language, I don't mean in like a negative way, but we always seem to burn something at these stupid jamborees that he has every week. That's his sacrifice. Usually, whatever wooden statue this week we're burning, there's usually treasures and things put inside of the statue before burnt as a sacrifice for the gods.
Sounds wasteful.
It's extremely wasteful, but I guess when you have all the money in the world and you control the whole town, it doesn't really matter.
You don't need much, do you?
Okay. Between us, he's a fucking prick.
Yeah, we were at his house earlier tonight. Met his son too.
He's a weird little fella.
That he is. That he is.
But, never heard anything bad about him. The only other one that you really need to watch out for is the burgomaster's right-hand man, Isaac.
Yeah, we've heard plenty about him too.
I'm
Okay,
sure.
well, I just wanted to see if you knew anything. We met Father Lucian earlier tonight. Something just struck me as odd about him. Just figured I'd ask. So we'll talk to you in the morning, guys.
Yeah, no worries. Again, hope to see you later tonight. If we don't, though, I'll see you first thing in the morning.
You'll be at the Blue Water, yeah?
That's the only place we go to drink. We love going there.
Alrighty, sounds good, fellas. We'll see y'all later. And Jynx turns around and walks back out.
Okay. So you all make it back without issue. If you all had any conversations on the way, you can have those out now. Anything of importance, obviously, I'm sure you all would be bullshitting. But
The only thing I would say is, as we're walking back, the conversation about sacrifice. I wonder if they've ever burned somebody by accident because someone went inside the thing
I was thinking the same thing.
and they just And I'll just bring up the whole bones thing. I was like, did he? I don't recall. Was there specific bones? Like, who is it?
It's
Did he ever
Saint-
say?
he did was when you all first met Father Lucian. He gave you all a brief history on Saint Andral himself. And essentially, he was the one that stood the test of time, and stood up against the undead forces and Strahd and all that, and kind of became like the local like martyr slash savior. Um, the whole idea is that he was so pure and divine that when he died, the land in which his skull and his skull rest upon becomes hallowed ground, and that hallowed ground is where Strahd cannot go.
Right.
So, for them in their religion, since it's the Church of Saint
Got it.
Andral's, they have the bones, which most people don't know if the bones are real or not, right? It's just like, was our boy really put in a fucking cave by the Jews and then came out a couple days later and was like, psych, motherfuckers. Nobody fucking knows. But essentially, like, the bones are what protects the entire
That's what they believe,
to,
right?
yeah, to their religion and the Morning Lord. The Morning Lord blessed Vallaki with the bones of Saint Andral. But yes, so you all would know that the bones to most people are a myth, but there very much are bones that Father Lucian knows about that were under the church in this crypt, and those are what went missing.
Gotcha.
So when we get back to town, I imagine it's just a little after dark, probably, right?
Oh yeah, we're getting to where like sun's definitely come down. Like you guys in like your last 20 minutes are like that butthole puckers kind of like effect starting to happen where it's like, it's getting kind of dark out here, man, and we haven't experienced these woods at nighttime yet. Like, let's just get back.
Okay. I am going to keep my eyes out for any plants or anything that catch my eye. Not don't really know what I'm looking for, but anything that looks interesting. But with that said, I'm good to get back to town and try to hit a shop before they close if we can.
Before we get into town, along the journey back to the town, I would have, like, hey, Jynx, take the silver longsword and maybe work on some more silvered weapons for our friends that don't possibly have any at the moment.
Well, I don't know that our other friends use weapons when they
Well,
fight, do
I
they?
was talking about these two.
The hunters?
No.
Us, me and Torrent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't use weapons.
The spellcasters.
It never hurts
I have
to
a
have a
sw- I have a
silver sword
sword.
on you.
I have a sword, but I don't. I'm good, bro. We're all right. We'll make it work.
I mean, we could just give the cleric the longsword instead of making it into something else.
That works too.
If you're proficient with longswords, I don't know if you are, but
I have no idea. I think so because I have a long sword for my magical thing.
okay. So in worst
Yeah.
case scenario, he can use that if he has to. Then
Yep. Okay.
good
Sounds
idea
good.
though.
Yeah, good call.
Okay, now we can get back to town.
Now we can fuck off.
You all make it back to town. What are we looking for? Where are we trying to go? You all essentially, I'll say it's like dinner time, so you guys have plenty of time. You probably got about 2 hours before shops start really closing their doors. You all would know that there's pretty much 4 to 5 main shops. Main categories of shops in town, right? Obviously, there's more like Blinksies, but think of your standard like cities and your standard shops that would be found in towns, right? So you have a smithy, you have like a herbalist or an apothecary, right? You have like a general wear and sales. There's an outdoor shop, just to give you guys an idea of what's around here.
I'm trying to go to the Blind Witch.
Throw that shit out there. I guess we're going to the Blind Witch.
Yep.
Because I thought that's a cool idea.
I would say that when you all first got there into the town of Vallaki, when you all stayed that first night at the Waterdeep Inn, you all essentially would have gotten a little pamphlet that like points out like the different shop names.
Here,
Gotcha.
I'll drop the shop names in in chat real quick so you know what we're doing. And actually, I changed my mind. I want to go to the armor. Jablonski and Sons, I think it is.
Yeah.
I changed where I want to go again.
I gave him time to think.
This way just says to bed.
No, I want to go to the jeweler. I want to try to sell that platinum necklace I have that's worth like 750 gold
Okay.
Ooh.
because I need the money for something that I'd like to pick up if I can get it.
Yep. You all have no issue making your way to the jeweler. Down to Shanovich Jewelers. So you all walk in. There is a nice little halfling man. No, it is not Raz. No, you all walk in. It's a rather small shop on the corner right there in the center of town. A happy-go-lucky, upbeat, halfling, middle-aged man behind the counter introduces himself. I don't have a name for him because it doesn't really fucking matter. His name could be Hank. That's fine. Hank works.
It's Hank. Hank the
Hank.
jeweler.
There it
Hank
is, Hank.
Shanovich.
Yep. Hank Sanovich. But he greets you all.
Anything with an itch at the end, we got it.
And as you all approach, he just says, "Oh, we got newcomers, do we? Like, what can I do you for?"
Well, I've got some jewelry actually that, as you can tell, I'm not much of a jewelry wearer, being made of metal and whatnot. I was hoping to sell it if you were buying.
Well, it depends on what you got, and if I got enough coin for it. But sure, what is it? And he pulls out this nice, like velvet, like purple velvet mat that
Sure.
all the jewelers pull out.
Yeah. Jynx will reach into his bag and pull out a platinum necklace with a topaz pendant and lay that out on the velvet, and then a amber gemstone, and put those out.
Can you
I was-
remind me of the values that I told you for those?
750 for the necklace and 50 for the gem.
As you pull it out, he's, "Oh my lord, where'd you find such beautiful pieces, especially around these parts?"
Tripped over it actually.
Well, today must be your lucky day.
I certainly
like-
hope it is.
As he's like saying that, he's got like one like optical like monocle that's like
Yeah.
zoomed in telescope, like looking at it. So it's like, well, are you wanting to sell it, or are you wanting me to just borrow it for a little bit of cash?
I honestly don't really have a use for it. So selling it would be ideal. But if you don't have the coin for it, then we could discuss a potential lease sort of a thing.
It's not that I don't have the cash. It's just obviously I have to make a little bit of money off of buying such a thing.
Of course.
And I would imagine, and he kind of looks you up and down for a second. Creature of your stature probably understands the actual value of items like this. And I don't want you to think I'm trying to short you when I make an offer.
Okay.
Would you take 600 for both the pieces?
Make
I
it six-
could.
Make it 650 and I could do it.
675.
No, 650. Don't listen to him. He doesn't own these. I do.
I'm poke you in the face.
Would you? Would you do 615 with let's say a $50 credit in store? I know you personally don't need the gems, but in case you need something for your lucky lady or a friend or a peace offering,
Mm. Yeah, I guess I could do that.
all right. Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. I wish everybody was like you. I thought it personally was a good deal. You get most of the cash up front, and I'm actually giving you more as far as credit goes. I feel like it's a win-win. I don't
Yeah,
understand why people are such penny pinchers around here.
Yeah, a lot of people like to hang on to their coin. I understand.
Well, there's no even fucking reason to have it around here. You can't spend it outside of the shops. And he says, well, either way, 100%. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I gotta go back to the safe. And he kind of like hops off of this stool that you all didn't realize he was on. But like he goes from being like head level with you all to being like boop, like barely, like his head's barely like floating above the level surface of the counter, and just like a toddler in the middle of the night
Before-
running off the bedroom.
Before he gets out of eyesight, I'm gonna tell him. Actually, you know what? Instead of giving me the credit, you want to just throw some diamond dust in there with it, and we'll call it square.
Yeah, I can do that. For the same value point.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that okay?
yeah.
I want. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I've actually got a bag of it back here. I'll let me do the calculations and I'll weigh it out.
Perfect.
And he scurries back. As you all look around, he's got a lot of really like ornate and pretty works of art here as far as jewelry is concerned. Everything seems to be centered around, and I'm going to use our actual terms. Think Victorian Gothic era. Everything is very big, shiny, diamonds, huge red rubies. It's very elegant pieces. But its prices seem reasonable. As you all look around, anybody who knows anything about the value of jewels, they don't seem fake, but he's not trying to gouge you like from what you heard about markets in Barovia, right?
Yeah.
In the village.
Because they were scummy out there.
Right. Everything here seems to be relatively well priced. Maybe some things are a little high, but as you all look around, you all could tell that like just the natural beauty, like there's a person who would pay this little bit of extra money to get these pieces.
Okay.
They all seem very personalized, and they kind of like call to one person. But about 3-4 minutes later, he comes out with your gold and a small velvet pouch. Think like a Crown Royal bag, just mini, right? And sets it down and says that I went ahead and rounded up. It's essentially what would be 50 gold worth of diamond dust.
Perfect.
Gave you a couple extra gold on top of it. I didn't want to short you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So what's total gold that I'm getting back?
610.
Okay. I'm gonna hand 10 gold back to him and point to something on a shelf behind him and say, "Is that a glass eye that I see back there?"
Like looks back. It is. Sometimes I have special orders or try to carry things that are more cosmetic than medical. He kind of looks around at all of you all. Beg my pardon, but none of you seem to be needing an eye.
No. You ever heard of the Boy Scouts?
No.
I heard a story one time that they're just always prepared. So would 10 gold let me walk out of here with that?
That is the price if you want it. That's you're not from you're clearly not from here, and he says this as he goes to grab it. But with a mindset like this, you all will do all right. Around Barovia, it isn't weird to have a eyeball in your pocket.
Well, I'm kind of known for doing off the wall and strange things anyway, so.
Well, if you like off the
In
wall
the
things,
background, the three of us are going.
kind of like looks back at you all and then like goes back to a conversation. Like, you all feel like a half smirk. He's like, well, like if it's oddities you're after, we have a wonderful toy maker in town. He makes
We met
some
him.
interesting.
Yeah,
You met
Blinky's pretty
Blinky.
cool.
We met Blinksy, yeah. I don't trust this monkey at all, but he's all right.
So personally, I haven't met the monkey yet. He
Don't let him in
recently
here.
adopted or was
Well,
given
just-
or got stuck with. I'm not too sure.
If you do meet the monkey, check your pockets after.
Don't let him in here.
I actually have a no monkey policy within
There you go.
the store, and there will not be any of those in here at all. And he starts
Yep.
like chuckling, just making light of it. But he says, "Well, if you're in need of a special item of the jewels, please always remember I'm here. If you ever find a piece that you're not too sure what it is, if I can't identify it, I know a couple people around the area that are relatively good at helping find answers to those mysteries. Obviously, for a price, they don't work for free, but
Who does
No,
anymore?
shoot you.
as you should them. And as he hands you this gold, Jynx, you open it just to check it. It's habit at this point for all of you, just kind of like just make sure, right? Like you look at your pretty money.
600 gold's a lot of gold.
You, as you pull one of the gold pieces out, you notice that these gold pieces are different than the ones that you're used to within Faerun. There is a stamp of Strahd's head as the centerpiece of the gold coins. And instead of one gold piece, it says 1GB, and it stands for Golden Barovian. Anything else for him?
Not for here, no. I'm good with this one.
Yep.
Anywhere in particular you guys want to check out?
Not necessarily, not right now.
We've got a library, we have an apothecary, we have an armor, clearly a jeweler, and then we have like
A general store? Like...
yeah, there's like a magic shop kind of a thing, which is the blind witch, I think, right? Or is it the apothecary kind of thing?
It's sort of like the both.
Mix.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Bloodbath and Beyond. They
I know. I love that. I picked up on that straight away.
they did. I like that. Serpent's Kiss.
Yeah, so
I'm tuned in.
I want to go to the blind witch and maybe the bookstore if we have time, but anything else up to you guys. I mean, I'm kind of down for whatever.
I gotta go see what's in Bloodbath.
Okay. Which would be the closest to us? We'll just kind of go down the line.
I mean, it's a market. We could do Bloodbath next, as you all kind of make your way back up.
What do they have in there again?
So that's going to be like, so no, it's technically like a branch off of the smithy. So if the smithy does the armor, the Bloodbath and Beyond is all your weapons.
It's your
Those are the
weaponsmith,
weapons.
yeah.
Okay.
So they offer. So just to give you an idea, as you all would go in, there is a Durgar dwarf, so gray-skinned, working behind the counter.
Oh boy.
And they sell so for simple weapons. I'm just gonna list it out for you. They have I can do this. Hold on.
Well,
I'm not
is
gonna
anybody interested in a simple weapon for starters? If not, there's no point in listing them, right?
Well,
I can screenshot the list and drop it if you want.
That's what.
I think I'm good there.
If anybody needs armor, this is going to be the armor shop, Jablinski's or whatever it's called. As for the blind witch,
Anybody need a shield and don't have one?
I have.
I'm good on shield.
Okay.
I got.
Yeah.
got
I sure do.
cloak,
Shit.
And I got Jane. Let's see. Anything else?
I'm gonna take a piss real
Hey.
quick where you guys are looking at.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need anything from that store either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So on to the blind witch.
Indeed.
Turtle.
You will walk into the shop and immediately you're hit with the strong aroma of incense, just as any crazy rock store should smell, right?
Rocks.
You all walk in. It's a quaint little store. Right next on as you all walk in on the counter, there is an incense burning, and along the walls on each side, of the room. There are various glass bottles and vials of dried herbs, different liquids, that sort of thing. As you all walk in, there's an audible like bell ring that you hear as you all open the door. And as you look up, there's no bell above you all, but clearly as soon as you opened up,
Jinx would get lost in that for a second.
Alright.
Jinx gets totally lost in the fact that it made a ding noise and there's nothing to make a ding noise. Just for a moment. Jinx completely loses himself in that, trying to figure it out.
Nope.
Like the point where the guys walking in the store behind me bump into me because I stopped so suddenly.
As you all kind of like push past Jinx, as like he just like stops and like,
The hell is that?
you all hear a female voice come from the back room behind the counter, and she greets you all and introduces herself as Agatha. Agatha is a beautiful elf with charcoal black skin and gray hair.
Wait,
She's
Gravin.
wearing a very elegant purple dress that has embroidery shaped as a spider web that goes all down her dress.
That's cool. Creepy.
She asks you all, can I be of any assistance to you all? Or are you just looking around?
I'm just looking around myself. I don't know.
We're looking for useful things, I suppose. Imagine you probably have some of those.
Well, everything's useful if used the right way. That's kind of an open-ended question.
I tend to do that. I apologize.
Well, it's perfectly fine. What exactly are you trying to do with useful things?
It depends on what the useful thing is, I suppose.
There we
Not
go.
to keep going around in circles. I guess I'd like to browse your inventory and just kind of see. I got a little bit of gold to spend, and we're just trying to prepare ourselves for a journey we're going to be going on tomorrow morning. And I just want to be prepared, you know? So I guess Jinx looks over and sees a rod on a shelf and asks if she can tell him a little bit about it.
So you all look as So-
It's in the inventory.
I ain't got that much.
along each wall you have shelves of dry flowers, powders, and liquids. Behind the actual desk itself, you all notice that there is a, for lack of better terms, like a curio cabinet that has multiple actual items in it. There's a robe hanging up. There's a rod that is sitting on a shelf. There's a bracelet. There's various items. And as you all kind of focus, and she turns and she opens the curio cabinet, she pulls out this metallic, like silver rod. It's not made of silver, but you know what I mean.
Silver in color.
Yeah.
Steel.
And on each end of this rod is the top half of a horse that's rearing up.
It's cool shit.
Yeah, it's kind of
And she,
Not gonna lie, I'd put that up in my house.
as she sets it down on the one side, you notice just at the base of the torso of the horse, there seems to be a button. And she takes it and sets it down in front of you all on this nice ruby red mat. And she says, the only thing I ask is you don't touch it unless I say it's okay. Some of these items can be a little finicky.
Understood.
But this right here, and she sets it down and like kind of like runs her hand over the top of it. So this, This is what we call a immovable rod. You see the way it works is you activate the rod, it can extend. She points to the button that I just explained. And she says, unless something can push more or weigh more than 8,000 pounds, the rod stays in place until deactivated.
I can see how that could be useful. Okay.
Right.
What else? What other items in there do you have
Like a
that
rope.
may draw some attention? I'd like to be able to communicate with my friends if we're not in the same place. And then I'm looking for a way to track things, if that's a possibility.
So with that, she does pull out a beautiful, ornate golden compass. She pulls the compass out and also pulls out this little golden stone that's in the same kind of like presentation pillow, right?
Mhm.
And she explains that when one separates the two, the compass will always point to the stone. If there's an obstacle between the compass and the stone, the compass will point to a path that leads around them.
Okay. And how much would you like for that? Well, for both of these, I suppose.
She says, she goes, well, tell you what, I'll do 415 for the both of them.
Okay. What about the communications thing? Do you have anything that could help with that?
She nods for a second. He pulls out a set of marble stones. Only these marble stones are both shaped like faces.
Mhm.
Anybody of magical background will recognize these as sending stones. Only the marble appears to be glass with an ever-moving galaxy inside, almost like an astral effect, right? I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. Like, you all have all seen like normal sending stones, right? Obviously, you all played my games where it's just a rock with a face, right? Same way, think marble with like white and black hard like marbling, and then it's also clear spots that you can see through where it's like a ever shifting cosmic effect.
Is this the special kind we don't have to lick?
I am actually, as soon as she pulls them out, she says these are different. These aren't normal sending stones.
Also,
These in particular have the ability to surpass the limitations of normal sending stones. These can be used in extra planar environments.
oh,
Saying if you decided, and I don't know why you would, but let's say you wanted to take a vacation to the abyss, and your lovely buddy was stuck in Waterdeep, you would be able to send a message.
you know about Waterdeep?
Not personally.
Oh, okay.
I've heard many of stories, but that was at least from what I recall before my time. But I'm not blind to the point that we're stuck in some sort of extraplanar bubble here.
Gotcha.
I know that I came from a place called the Underdark, which is on Faerun.
You're a drow.
I've read a bunch. Yes.
Yeah.
Sadly,
That's
I have no memory of it, but yeah.
Okay. And what would you like for these? For all three together. You said 415 for these two.
You'll do 550.
550.
Now these are special. In order to activate, you just can't talk into them. You do have to lick them. You see the saliva creates a cosmic connection with the arcane weave,
You see, I have this
which
gimmick
allows
that
to
I
go
like to put in
through
the game.
astral boundaries.
I don't have a tongue.
Oil
Can you make a slurping sound?
For sure, yeah.
It might work. Worst case, you can't use them.
No, worst case, I'll make one of them lick it. It's fine.
I've heard of strange rumors where people think you have to lick the normal ones. That's an absolute myth. But in order to break the bounds of the astral planes, it does require your own saliva.
Okay, but if we're talking to each other with these stones from the same plane, it doesn't require the licking.
No. These do in general.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because of the type they are. You
Okay.
do have to make the licking sound.
Okay.
We're cleaning
Um,
the fuck out of those stuff.
So 550 for the set for all three. Question about your, and he kind of points out to the jars and everything. Your alchemical practices here. Do you do lessons by chance?
In what exactly? Like a forging? Or
Well, I'm interested in learning more about ocean craft and foraging wild ingredients and how those two things may overlap. I
have
understand
that
there's a
too.
library somewhere. Huh?
Yeah, I can do that too. Apparently, I have the
What?
alchemist gift
Oh,
supplies.
gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
wanting to learn that would make sense for me too. I
Okay.
didn't think about that. Good call.
But just looking to see how those two things might overlap. I understand there's a bookstore of some kinds that could probably sell foraging books and the like, but without the proper skills behind them, obviously it would be a much longer road to perfecting the craft or at least making it usable.
actually, yes, I can teach you. I can at least show you how to use the ingredients. The research itself, you would probably be better off with getting a book if you could, with the knowledge and the pictures.
Okay.
But yeah, if you just go right down the street to the bookstore, Narns and Bobles. Um, they usually have simple things of that nature,
good.
whether
That's
it be about flora, fauna, those sorts of things.
Okay.
It's quite easy to grab. But yes, if you take interest, I could always spend time if you have it. For basic lessons, I won't charge you. There are limitations to what I can teach you within city limits. I'm sure you've been told about magic use and all those sorts of things within town.
Indeed.
But I could at least teach you the basics. And what exactly is it that you're trying to make?
Again, anything useful.
She takes a second and kind of looks at you all as a group. Well, I see we have bronze, we have brains, we have the holy man. I would say that you all seem to be a group of adventurers of some
Oh, the
sort.
fourth one.
Where?
We are indeed adventurers of some kind, yes.
You see a holy man?
Every once in a while,
Sorry.
we get a group of you coming through. I have an idea of what you're looking to learn. I can teach you the basics. If you get the books and you have time, by all means, I'm always here.
Okay. Jinx is gonna pull out 550 gold and set it on the counter. And say, here's your gold. Let me know when I'm allowed to touch them. And when we have time, we'll be back to discuss that. I'll hit the bookstore probably in the morning. We have some things we have to go do. You may not see us for a few days, but we'll be back before the festival this weekend for sure.
Wonderful. It's most people think it's overdone, but to be honest with you, it's at least the one time a week where everybody kind of forgets about our situation. And whether they want to admit it or not, most people have a pretty good time at these things. And this one's the most special of the year. With
Yeah, we heard.
so, Yes, I look forward to seeing you all, and as always, I'll be here.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Agatha. Appreciate it.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I hope to see you soon.
You as well. All right, I'll go ahead and take the 550 gold out of my inventory.
Before we walk out, I would ask Agatha, how long have you been in this area?
My count, at least for the last 200 years. Why do you ask?
You know, we're from a different place. And I've been trying to figure out time.
She kind of laughs for a second. It's something we don't think about here. I personally keep track just so I know how old I am, at least how old I think I am.
Same.
Time doesn't really exist here, not probably the way that it does for you all. At least to us.
Yeah, I got separated once from a group and I lost track of time. So I'm always a little bit curious.
Did you ever find them?
Sadly, no. 100 years is a long time.
Indeed. And, I'm sorry. There's always tomorrow, though, right?
Every day.
And that's the positive attitude that more people need around these parts. Everyone's all doom and gloom.
Mm.
It's only as bad as you think it is.
I mean, fair, but and I kind of like gesture to the world, like where we are, and I'm like, I get why they see that.
Well, it's all in your perspective. If you knew the customs of the Drow, most people would think that we are quite archaic and violent. Men are slaves and strictly used for reproduction. If you serve no purpose, our matron kills you. And life goes on. We don't see it as a violent thing, it's just the way of life.
Right.
So, again, perspective. And she kind of winks at you.
I give her a smirk, and I'm like, we'll see you soon.
Hope so. I look forward to it. Enjoy your evening, boys.
You do.
Later, nerd.
The non-Salanchi. Fucking hot.
Just
Oh no!
grab by his collar, like, no, we're going outside. we don't know this lady.
You don't want the goth mommy. Come out. Come on.
Look, come on. She does the magic thing. We gotta go.
Don't see me.
She just said she'll fuck you and eat you. Let's go.
It's
Like,
the great
do you
release
smell-
I've been looking for. Death by
Do you-
Snoo.
Do you smell
right
the
where I wanna be.
incense? We gotta go.
Jinx. You have what all of those things do, yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
On the way out the door, Jynx is going to ask, who wants the other sending stone? I should not be carrying both.
I'll take it. It's fine.
You could talk to yourself, though. Hello.
I don't need to do that. I talk to myself enough.
Same.
Okay, I'll give it to Savath then.
Mm-hmm.
Since usually we split the party and it's rarely ever you and me together, so
Correct.
just make sure if we ever do split in a way that's where we're together, we give one of them to the other guys.
Yep.
Just gotta make sure we always do it right. And don't forget about the compass that I have now.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you stopping to get the book on your way back? It's like literally 2 stores down.
That's
If
fine.
it's right there, then yeah, I'll pop in and grab whatever books are relevant to what I'm looking for. We don't have to RP the whole thing if
Yeah, I
you don't
got
want
you.
to. We can just burn
No,
through
it's
it.
fine. So the book that you are looking for It's called Flora of the Mist, a Barovian Field Guide. And within this particular book, do you care if I share the file? Okay. With you all, it's going to be under books.
How much is it going to cost me? Just so I know what to take out.
5 gold. So essentially, it's a book of local flora that grows within the land of Barovia, and it teaches what each effect does. Sort of like with Ahmed's harvesting.
Ammons, the thing that I use.
Yeah. But yeah, so I came up with a bunch of cool stuff that I thought would work really well for you guys, and you guys can share it as you need to. And then obviously I used AI to get the images for each of these. But with each actual card, if you haven't figured it out, both of the two flora are in the one picture.
Right.
Yeah.
So just so you guys know, but yeah, so
Okay.
I thought it was some cool stuff, some unique stuff within the land that's homebrewed. So
Yeah, I like it.
yeah, we can do the same type of foraging stuff, DJ, that we did with Dismere.
That's fine.
We can figure out how to put all that together. Some things are regional. I'll let you all know, obviously, when you get to those points. But yeah. So okay. Yeah. So you got that. Any other books that you would want to ask about while you were there?
Not at the moment. We can always
Okay.
come back if I come up with something.
Sweet. Okay. Where are we off to now, boys?
We gotta
Was
wait
it
some
the-
time until it's about midnight.
So,
So
yeah, so I guess the bar. Go back
Yeah,
to our
go
room.
meet the guys at the inn.
2-hour wank, and then we'll be ready to go.
All right.
Hello.
2 hour, bro. I need 2 seconds if I'm doing it myself. Like this is
Like,
easy.
He's gonna edge for the other hour and
Yeah.
58 minutes.
Fuck that. That's too much work.
Yeah, agreed.
You have to have self control. That's retarded.
Yep.
No, I'm forced to make it last 2 hours. So why? I got nothing else better to do.
I got nothing else. All right. You guys make it back. I would say by this point, the sun is definitely down. Streets are starting to wrap up. I would say that would probably take you guys about an hour in total, right? Between walking and talking and looking and all that kind of shit. You all get back to the inn. The inn is pretty lively. It's like the same group of individuals that we've seen time and time again here. Almost like every other night you've been in there. Rictavio is posted up, telling his stories, playing his lute.
Is it the exact same story we heard last time, or is he actually telling a different one?
After about 10 seconds of you all walking in, it's the same story.
Good
It's the
God.
same story.
Please.
And behind the bar is Danica's behind the bar, like usual, slinging drinks. They both see you walk in. As he kind of is in that like posture of like turning and like putting his back to the kitchen door. He kind of just like lifts up a dirty plate towards you all, saying hi. Danica waves. Which is what are we having tonight, boys?
Jinx just turns and looks at you guys.
Yeah. That's
Are we hungry or are we just drinking?
hungry.
I'll take a drink. What's your
Well-
finest beer or alcoholic beverage?
I'll take a good ale.
Gentlemen, keep in mind we have work to do here in just a few hours.
Understood.
That's why I said eat.
With the hustle and bustle, he says, "I got it. Drinks all around. How many want food?"
Me.
Okay.
Just the two of us.
Right. Tonight's special wolf stew.
Sounds good to me.
Whoops, dude.
It was wolf steaks last time, wasn't it?
Yep.
And so she hollers back
Hot,
for your all's
hot
order.
biggest soup.
Turns over. She goes over to the wine barrel And as she goes to pull the cork on the bung, a little trail dribbles out. And she immediately just starts to, damn the gods, like pushes the bung back in. And she goes over, she says, it's ale tonight, boys. I'm out of wine.
That's fine for me.
She says, I don't know where this fucking shipment is. And pours you all off each a pint. And comes and sets them down. And she says that first one's on me for the evening, boys. It's something I would like to do since you guys are staying long term. One drink on the house each eve. Food you gotta pay for, but I figure one for free won't hurt, right? I've never had anybody pass up a drink. And she even pulls a fourth one out and sets it right in front of Jynx.
Thank you, ma'am.
I know you won't drink it, but it's the thought that counts. And I'm sure somebody will not let it go to waste.
I'm sure you're probably right.
You just hear the rock turning as my head just turns towards fucking.
Doesn't look like you need that there, bud.
Are you gonna drink that there, buddy?
As you all get your drinks, she just tells you all that sit wherever, and obviously we've got you taken care of. As you all look around, you have this group of just stragglers, like locals, who are listening to Rictavio. When you all walk in, he's telling the same story, but he does eventually transition to playing a song that you all haven't heard. So he's not just a one-trick pony, but it seems like he has a like a set list almost, right? He has a routine he does. And as you are kind of looking around, you see Zoldar and his brother sitting at the table that they always are sitting at. And as you guys kind of scan the room, you all make eye contact, and Zoldar just raises up his glass and kind of points over if you guys want to come sit. If not, it's not a big deal. But what are your alls?
Yeah,
Jinx will definitely go over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's going to bring his ale with him.
I'm like, boys, you're gonna get a free drink tonight. Because I slide the pint over to one of them because I'm not drinking. Calm down there.
Before getting up, I do, even if she doesn't look my way. Before getting up to go over to Zoldar, I leave one gold piece on the bar.
On the counter. She's not looking at you as you do that, but she hears like the metallic clank on wood. And she says, even though I don't see, I've got eyes in the back of my head. Take it. I don't want it.
I'm not paying, I'm tipping.
All right. Be on with yourself. And she goes back to like slinging drinks, and she starts yelling at one of these drunkards at the end of the bar, who clearly is one of the regulars that you all see in here every fucking night. It's two of the guys you recognize from the other night, as Izmir was in here at the table, just slamming them with them. So she's over there getting heckled by them. As you all turn and start to walk towards Zoldar, says, well, look what the fucking cat drug in. Glad you can make it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm eating, like, waiting for my soup. That's all I want is soup.
Just
I want
stand
my
there double,
soup.
just stand there double fisted.
How did you get two? Because Jinx still has his beer, and I'm drinking.
I gave mine.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
thieving bitch.
Like, I'm good.
They kind of look at you all and look around. We'll pull up a damn chair. If we need to, we'll grab another table and
We'll grab the noisiest stuff and drag it over.
Yeah.
The whole place is gonna
Yeah.
look at us doing
As
it.
you all look around, it's this round table that can really only fit like 4 people comfortably, and clearly there's more of you. And as you all kind of look around, like, we need a table. Zoldar kind of just stands up, and at a table next to you is just like this local Barovian, like pale skin, like doesn't really talk. And he is like, I'm gonna be borrowing this, and just drags the table right over. And as this table moves, like this Barovian's just sitting there, still holding his beer as the table slides like past him, just like staring aimlessly out in front of him as these like individuals do. And as he brings the table over, Zoldar sits down. He's like, these commoners, they're fucking weird.
Like zombies.
They're all like that. They give me the fucking willies.
Hmm.
He goes, they're nice, but Jesus fucking Christ.
Checked out.
Down, and he looks over and goes, Bob! The
And
table's not there anymore. The table's not there.
I slowly turned it toward it, and I was like, you have a twin.
I probably next back one pint to try and take myself out of what's happening right here.
He's like, I'm not looking at you. Fuck you.
I'm looking at the bottom of my fucking cup.
Zoldar just kind of looks over and just goes, just go sit at the bar. There's plenty of room. You're just sitting in the middle of the fucking floor. And like this Barovian just like slowly turns and looks at Zoldar, and Zoldar's like, "Go!" And like
Be gone, though.
very like robotically, this dude just like stands up and like turns, still holding his beer at like a 45 or a 90, and just walks right over to the bar, sets it, and sits down. It's like the most unnatural movement you've ever fucking seen. You're like, all right.
Yeah, I look at the hunters, and I'm like, it's like there's a spell cast on these people.
It's not that there's a spell cast on them. They're the
Oh.
they're the souls that have been stuck here since before the dark times. They're a shell of their once being. Physically, they're here, but their emotions and their souls are what built this entire place. At least the story goes. He's like that.
Immovable rock grass.
He goes, that's why we're nice to them. They're a little slow and special, though.
That was nice.
Well, I don't want him just sitting in the middle of the fucking bar looking weird.
Well, yeah, but you stole his table.
No, I borrowed his table for you all.
Are you going to give it back to him?
When we're done with it.
All right.
There's like a solid logic on that where it's like, huh. Can't argue with that.
Yeah,
Pat down
I-
and just sip on my beer.
Maybe I'm a little confused. You all paid us to
You're fine.
tend to you all.
Don't worry.
But we're not going to sit here and not have you all join us on the night before our adventure. You need a table. We got you a table.
I understand.
Appreciate
No
it.
complaints. I was just trying to better understand the situation. That's all.
Understandable. Any interesting adventures today? It starts to try to make small talk with you all.
Not really. I mean,
Nothing other than what we already told you. We went to the Burgermasters and met his weird ass kid, but that was about it.
I sense that, yeah, he's a bit of a fucking weirdo. So I don't mind obviously our business transaction here, and he kind of leans in just to get a little closer to you all. You don't have to tell me, but I usually like to know the who, what, when, where, why. I know the who, I know the what, I know the where, and the when, but I don't know the why.
One of the Vistani kids went missing. And we think that she might be there.
Dear Lord.
Yeah, we're not supposed to talk about it.
You don't have to say anymore. we can talk tomorrow. I didn't realize it was that serious. I'm used to people hiring us just who are looking for treasures and things of value. And
Oh,
we
don't get me
have-
wrong. Don't get me wrong. We're gonna strip the place bare if we can. This guy right here is basically a kleptomaniac, but the
Take
goal
what I
is to
need.
find her, though. So
That's perfectly
Yeah.
what you all do is your own accord. I just didn't realize that there was a serious aspect to this. That kind of changes things a little bit. Not for you all, but just how we approach this. Safely, of course. I
Yeah,
want you all to.
I don't mean to turn it to money, but I'm hoping that we're reimbursed for the costs overall in some capacity. It doesn't have to be a financial reimbursement, not from you, obviously, but
Oh, a job's a job, right?
yeah, it's you got to spend money to make money, and I get that, but not to turn this into a job per se. We are trying to help someone out because of ties to us, but we have spent a great deal of money on this already.
I'm sure. Well, hopefully everything goes smooth. The route out there is pretty simple. Never really have much issue anytime we're out that way. We haven't been out west for. He looks at his brother for probably, and his brother in this super like low fucking voice just says 3 months. Like his brother doesn't talk a lot. Like he's not a talker.
That's fine.
Um,
We respect those guys.
He says, yeah, I guess it has been that long, hasn't it? I haven't pushed too far past the lake, actually, in general, that you all are looking to go to. Rumors of werewolf attacks out to the west near Kresk have been rampant lately. I'm not sure necessarily what's going on out there, but while we do enjoy riding the lightning, as we call it, and the thrill of the kill. Sometimes those types of creatures can be a bit much. We try to avoid them at all costs. And
Do you think that's why they're having problems with people getting deliveries?
he kind of looks at you like inquisitively.
The
Isn't
wine
there
hasn't been delivered in a while.
Yeah.
There's a winery out there, isn't there?
There is a far to the west, just south of Kresk, the Wizards of Wine. Says it's a little bit off the beaten path, south of Kresk, but north of Yesterhill. But for some reason, that whole area has just been rampant lately, at least from what we've heard. And honestly, if we don't have a reason to push that far west, we don't. Life's pretty good around here, and we make well for ourselves fishing Lake Zarevich, selling our wares. I don't have too much of a reason to push unless we have a guide, unless we have to guide somebody. About that time, Ural's food comes out.
Yes.
Wooden bowls, just 1, 2, 3, all put down.
Sopa.
Obviously, given the enjoy. Says, don't worry about the cash right now. I just put it on your room tabs for right now. I'm too busy to deal with that. Just we'll deal with it later. I know you're good for it.
Compliments to the chef.
As it comes out and they start to walk away, Zoldar makes just a comment. I don't know what they did different this night, but it's damn good. It's damn
It
good.
is.
I'm not even listening. I am.
Yep.
It's like it's food time. I want to talk to you.
He goes on to rant about how he's had 3 bowls already, and he might have a 4th.
God damn, that's some good soup. Taste the soup. What's wrong with the soup?
I guess one thing to be clear on, our services are hired to get you to and from. I'm sure you understand that we will not be going into the tower if you all decide to venture in on your own.
And expect you to.
Right.
We have no issues standing outside and essentially keeping outlook for you all. But we aren't much into traps and magic and spooky caves. And the only caves that I like to mess around in are bear caves.
Or my wife.
It's a weird name for an owl bear.
Oh my wife.
And immediately as he says the owlbear comment, he just starts dying laughing. 100% gets the humor.
Just that Woody laugh.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys have time. If really you guys are just killing time and having your drinks. If there's anything that you all want to ask him, you can. If not, it can just be small banter, getting to know each other a little bit. And when you guys are ready, you're good to go. Rictavio, through the night when he takes a break, he does come over and recognizes you all and immediately says hello. In his best Borat impression. Hello, my friends! Hello, little girl! Oh, wait, that was Gru. Fuck.
Get your villains right, man. No.
All right. They're so close. But no, he comes over, says hello. Just pleasantries. But yeah, you guys are kind of just killing time until.
So we gotta go to the
Okay.
holy place.
Who's having what beers?
I'm having a beer with my dinner over an extended period of time there.
Okay.
Torin,
Yeah, Jynx is gonna drink. Jynx is gonna drink the one ale, even though he doesn't taste it or anything. He's trying to
I get it.
fit in, you know.
That's the
I necked the
creepiest
first
thing
one,
ever,
but I
too.
am nursing the second one.
I'm having soup
Having
with water. Constitution ain't there,
Zoldar.
boys.
Zoldar is drinking much, much heavier than you all are. For every like one of yours, he's 3 down. He's like drinking like I do on a good night, right?
It's a good name.
He listen. Your alcohol poisoning is my warm up. Don't fuck with me.
Hey, it doesn't
I
need to
don't.
be a good night to drink like that.
I
So
don't.
what you mean?
I
Yeah,
don't. I like myself.
right. I don't.
Yeah. What you mean?
But as he starts to get a little bit more inebriated, he starts what all drinkers do, which is trying to get you all just
Come
to drink
on.
one more.
Have
one
another.
more. Just one
Yeah.
more. With you all knowing that you all have somewhere to be, unless somebody actively says that they would partake in
Yeah.
another one with
On the
your
clock,
personality. He kind of just like he talks
Nope.
shit to you all, but like he understands, right? Like he understands.
Knowing we've got to do something in like
Hmm.
30 minutes or something like that.
Hmm.
If we had nothing on for the rest of the night, I would be partaking.
Yeah, what are you talking about? If it's in 30 minutes, you slam it now, you're good. You're over there, you fuck get it done.
Stop talking. You are not helping.
Let me get this. I'll be back in half an hour, Zoldar.
Yeah. Like you've never slammed your nightcap just to drive home and play the game Race Against the Clock, all right? Like
Oh, yeah.
Brother, I don't.
hell yeah.
Brother, I don't run anywhere. I drive irresponsibly. Okay.
Fair. All right, well, he tries, and his brother does become more lively as the alcohol sets in. He's very much like us in real life. Like, no, we're not talking. And then as soon as you get fucking drinks in him, he's like, so anyways, did you know, fun fact, ants are the strongest creature to walk the earth, right? And they start going into all their normal weird shit. But you all bid your time there. Have a great time just talking and enjoying the atmosphere. Slowly but surely, the crowd starts to die down, and that's kind of your all's cue that hey, the night's kind of coming to a close. And before you all know it, it's about 10:30, 10:45 in the evening. The tap room is pretty much completely empty. Besides the owner sitting there cleaning everything up. Obviously, you all are sleeping there, so you're more than welcome to hang out as long as you want. They don't even really recognize your all's existence. But it gets to be about that time where you all should make your way to the church, walk in slowly.
While we do that, I will ask Jynx. Jynx, can I get a sip of that coffee? Thank you, sir. I'll just open it up, take a swig, give it back. Just a bit of a pep in my step.
So you guys are making your way, yeah?
Making
Yep.
our way.
As you all start to make your way to the west side of Vallaki, these streets you're familiar with as you've walked them multiple times throughout the day. And as you reach the staircase leading up to the entrance of the church, as you all, who's
God damn it.
who's in front? Like who's leading the group?
I'll lead.
Probably him. Yeah.
As Jynx says, you got to open the main door to the church. The door hastily pushes out towards you, kind of like knocking you off balance, but you awkwardly just stand there. And a middle-aged, well, we'll say like a 50-year-old man, white man, kind of like busts through the door carrying a couple planks of wood. And like runs right into you. And as like you just kind of stand there and take it, you know what I mean? Like a little fucking wall. He like kind of like gets knocked off balance, bounces into the fucking door, and drops these planks of wood. And immediately he's like, my apologies, my apologies. I didn't expect anybody to be out here. Or you're not hurt, are you?
No. Where you headed? You seem to be in a hurry.
He leans back down to pick up the pieces of wood. Because I'm just headed back to my shop. It's my home. I'm the local coffin maker. Just a rush order, and you could tell at this point, like this guy's just kind of like. He's just like one of those like frantic like individuals, you know what I mean? And he's like, I Father needed a couple pieces of wood to repair from the tree falling a couple nights ago, and I just had to bring them over, but I've got to get back to my work.
Insight check.
Sure.
14.
You kind of take a second and just kind of like maul him over. The dude just seems to be a fucking skittery spaz. Like,
Okay.
he doesn't seem to be, he's not giving off any like weird fucking vibes that he's trying to hide anything. He's awkward as fuck, and he's a casket maker. Like, he's just fucking weird.
Got it.
He's weird.
Okay.
And like, you look at it and you're like, oh, you're just different. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
100%.
Correct. Cut out the spaz part.
Is Father Petrovich inside?
As he's kind of like shambling, just like to get the last like 2 planks of wood. He says, "Yeah, he's up by the altar. Go on in." And he kind of like steps to the side and like holds the door. And as you guys walk by, he just says, "The name's Hendrik."
Nice to meet you, Hendrik. I'm Jynx.
Nice to meet you, Jynx. And just immediately just turns and goes on his fucking way.
Glad to hear a normal name for once.
What do you mean? Hank is normal?
Henrik
Bob
is
was
good.
normal?
You all walk in, no problem. As you all go in, the door closes behind you, and as the echo of the wooden door coming to a close kind of pushes through the church, Father Lucian is up front, and as he hears this noise, he looks up and kind of just waves at you all. And
Wave and walk up to him.
he goes, "I'm good to see you guys."
Father?
See, you had a little bit of a literal run in there.
Yeah, well, he ran into us, but yeah, you're not wrong. He mentioned that a tree fell through your roof. You think that's how the items went missing?
He kind of like waves it off. He's like, no, that's just that's the cover we've been using
Ah,
for the break-in and having to have supplies come back in. Out back, there's an
Understood.
old tree that could fall at any minute. It's just an excuse that I came up with very quick. So no, but that would make sense why he was extremely awkward with you all.
indeed, yeah. Wouldn't people question if they heard that a tree fell on the church, but no tree fell on the church?
Um, he kind of just like looks at you, says, I guess if you question things, most folks around here don't
Fair enough. You know the place better than I do.
I'm not saying it's right, but if things happen at night and by morning things are fixed and it's a miracle,
Gotcha.
he kind of just looks at you all and goes, I'm not ignorant. I
Understood.
understand sometimes.
Understood.
But well, anything of me, or would you like to go ahead and
Now, if it's all the same to you, we'd like to go ahead and get to work. Get through the door in the middle of the walkway right there.
Yeah. So right behind the altar, there is where you can see where like a normal hidden hatch would be, right? The hatch, the old hatch, you can tell had been pried open and kind of just broke in half, and it's like this hodgepodge of like fresh wood that looks very similar to what Henrik just brought in, of like trying to like shape up to rebuild this part of the floor.
Okay.
And he says, just so you know, it's not that I don't trust you, but I'd like to come down with you. I take personal responsibility and the bones going missing, and it is my duty and obligation to find these things. I just want to make sure you don't think otherwise of me.
No offense taken. May I go down first?
100%. As you start to pull these just piece like planks of wood up that are just resting on this floor on the cross members, you all hear the light pitter patter of like a teenage boy walking around the area, and as you kind of like look up to see, because you all think you're the only ones in there, you hear Father Lucian just say, Yeska, we shouldn't be expecting anybody, but if you wouldn't mind, would you lock the doors and just stay up here, keep watch? And immediately Yeska nods. Yeska's like a 16-year-old fucking boy with the stereotypical like Mormon bowl cut.
Okay.
Shit, right. I posted the picture of him in fucking, in the photo reference last
Yeah, I
week.
remember.
Okay. But he 100% just nods and agrees. And Father looks at you, Jynx, and just says, I guess we'll follow you. As you pull up the planks, the hole in the floor is roughly about 4 feet in diameter, right? It's literally like, it's a pretty tight spot to try to like get in, right?
Okay.
It's a literal crawl space. I think most of you could fit down there. But I know you can, Jynx.
I'm the biggest one out of all of us, I think,
Oh, are you?
aside from maybe Torin, but
I'm the
we're
same
about
height
the
as
same
you.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You descend the staircase. It's not a very big like crypt area, right? And I use crypt very loosely, right? But essentially it had bones in it, so therefore it is a crypt.
Yep.
It is a plain Jane, what we know as a root cellar,
Okay.
with a stone. Let's see. Let's see. With as you crawl down the ladder and you look around, this room is probably only about 8 feet like wide. In the middle of this crawl space is a stone altar, for lack of better terms, and there is on top a like an indent where you think like the back of a cranium would kind of rest.
Okay.
In on this. As you get down, and Father follows right behind you. Anybody else can follow right behind that if you want. So that's where the skull usually rests.
Okay. Did you find anything down here after the fact?
To be honest, I've only been down here once. And I didn't necessarily want to stir anything up in case there was evidence down here.
Okay.
So no, I haven't touched really anything.
Okay. Do you mind if I look around?
No, by all means.
I'm going to start scanning the walls. Any marks, any footprints, anything that doesn't look like it belongs.
Give me an investigation.
Guidance.
You're not down there.
I
But
did
I rolled a
follow
21.
behind.
No, I didn't hear you say that you followed behind.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, 21 plus stuff. Do I need the plus stuff?
No, you're good.
Okay.
As you start to look around the room, you start with the floorboards and do like a scanning motion, right? Like you have a system to how you do this, right? You start low
Mhm.
and then you slowly work your way up through a room, right?
Mhm.
While investigating the floorboards, you find a torn piece of gray wool fabric that was snagged on a nail. Give me, upon that you look a little closer, give me a perception check.
I'm proficient. Can I help him with that? Or no? I mean, it's kind of weird. I just figured I'd ask.
I mean, you would have seen me pick this thing up, I feel like. I
Yeah.
don't feel
Yeah.
like that's an unreasonable thing to ask.
No.
Yeah, a little bit better. 12.
Apart from the fabric, you also notice a very fine line of rust-stained dirt that's smeared across the floor.
Okay.
Give me, well, yeah. And also with that, as you investigate, you find several clumps of earth that are in the shape of a large boot print and contain several blades of pale green grass and white flower petals.
I would turn to the father and I was like, I just need to ask you. Give me the trail of events for yourself the day of that you found that this happened. Like, how did you come about the whole, like, was it just you coming in the next morning, saw the hole, and then jumped down? Like, all of that.
Yes, it was that's easy. I went to bed after closing up the church.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning I woke up, which was yesterday morning,
Mm-hmm.
and the floor was torn up. That was the first thing I saw when I came up.
Do you remember anybody out of the ordinary like us? Right? Like we would kind of stand out that would come to this church.
No, no. I would say that 99% of folks who come to worship here are locals, and every once in a while we get a sprinkle of new folk like yourself. But No, not as of recent.
So,
Good.
uh, given where we are, I'm asking DM, not Lucian. Given where we are, I'm making an assumption here. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. There aren't many places that have bright green grass. This place is all decay and aged and old and brown and gray and blah 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 blah, right? Is that mostly accurate?
Yes.
So the bright green grass and the mud would be a clue of sorts. So would the white flowers. Where have we seen bright green grass? Was the burgomaster's house full of bright green grass and white flowers outside? Because we never got that description, but
Father, as you all are talking about this, Father Lucian would speak up and say, well, to be quite honest, around here, really the only places that that type of grass and these flowers would grow would be on hallowed ground. We have them all out by the cemetery.
okay. So this flora likely came from here at the church then.
It's quite possible. At least as far as my train of thought, I don't know too many other places where you might have that type of growth.
Okay.
Not within Vallaki, at least. But I know you all haven't been out there yet, but the cemetery is pristine. It's beautiful green grass with these white lilies.
Okay.
Is there any other markings to come inside? Like, did you find a place where they came in to get into the church since you said you locked up?
There was a window that was opened. Kind of my guess was a window within the chapel. We don't ever lock those. There's also the back door, but they would have had to have come through my room, and that doesn't. I usually wake up. I'm quite the late sleeper. Besides that, no.
Mm.
And I looked upstairs by the window. I couldn't find any footprints that matched the ones here that lead to the altar. And Jynx, would you investigate the altar while you're down here as well?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I was just gonna ask the same question of like, can we move this thing?
Give me a perception.
Yeah, guidance. And
Fucking need it. 11. I have a passive investigation of 18 and a passive perception of 12, if that helps at all.
I got you. I'm taking all that into account as you roll.
Okay.
As you look at the stone slab, you find a couple of strands of dark black hair. And these hairs are quite long, like shoulder length on a like teenage to full grown male, right? Like shoulder length to like a grown individual.
Anything else? Okay. I would point that out to anybody else that were down there. And if that's all I could find, I would announce that and climb back up.
You all, after searching for a minute, go ahead and climb back up. And Father Lucian sits there and says, well, I guess it's not much to go off of, but it's more than I put together.
We might find something outside in the graveyard, too.
Quite possible. You all are more than welcome to head out. We can go through the back door. It leads right out to the cemetery.
Okay.
All good.
I will go over and check the window first before we go out. and open it, check, the ledge, the sill of the window, and the floor on the inside. And then I'm going to go out that way instead of going out the door. I'm going to go out the way that they allegedly came in and checking everything around there as well.
Okay. I'm not even
I'm
gonna.
gonna go out the door.
Okay.
Just yeah.
Okay. Jinx, as you kind of like retrace these, steps, you notice a couple things. Immediately hone in and try to start to like recreate path as
Mhm.
somebody would have walked from this window. You notice dirt footprints on some of the pews, like on some of the actual like bench seats, right?
But they didn't walk on the ground. They stayed off the floor, kind of a thing.
Right. Like when you first come out and you come around the altar, like you see like faint, questionable impressions of boots. But it looks like somebody might have like tried to like clean up after themselves, right? At some point.
Okay.
As you're walking over to the window, you notice for sure the same indentation and size footprint with mud on some of these benches. And they walk right over to the window.
Okay.
Nothing crazy on the window. The window is unlocked. You open it. It opens quite easy and it's quite quiet. You're used to most of these wooden window frames making.
Squeaks and stuff.
We've all lived in old houses. Well, most of us have, right? We all know when you're trying to smoke a cigarette out your window at 16, it's real hard to open that fucking thing, right? So you expect that like abrasion, and it's not there. This window is quite smooth.
Okay.
You open it, you look out. You do, in fact, see footprints that would be coming towards the window from outside.
Okay.
Do you hop out?
I'll look around for anything that might be on the ground that could be a risk, but yes, I will. I would hop out.
No, I mean, there's nothing of risk. It's just ground.
Sure.
I didn't know if you were going through the window, if you just were looking out it, and then.
Oh no, I'm trying to trace this path backwards to wherever it originated from.
As you hop down, the rest of you are coming out the back door. You all hear the mechanical clank that you all are so used to as Jynx kind of like walks around and climbs and stuff. And you hear kind of like metal hitting fucking like wet mud. As you look over, you see Jynx hopping out this window. And Father Lucian just kind of looks over and looks back at you all and goes like, is he always this thorough?
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Team tactics.
We just let him do what he needs to do.
That's fine. It's just unusual. And he would explain to you all that here's a cemetery, right? There's probably a total of like 60 graves within this, and he would go on to explain that in order to be buried within the church cemetery, you have to be part of the church, right? You have to actually work for the church. So everyone who's buried here is of this. Says there are a few exceptions that can be made for family and friends or those who die in a very gruesome way and they have nowhere else to go. But he kind of just explains that everybody here has been a part of the church. Jynx says you hop down and you look over, you can see them, and you kind of hear this off to the side, but you're kind of like honed in on your fucking chameleon eyes going all over the fucking place as you scan the area.
Yeah, Skitter's out like hovering with me and kind of looking around and everything.
Yeah. You're able to trace these footsteps. Give me one more investigation.
Sure.
No guidance, no nothing. Just give me an investigation.
23.
You're able to trace these footsteps over to a dirt pile on the far west edge of like the stone fence for the cemetery. There's a shovel that is pushed in to this dirt mound that's heavily rusted on the actual spade of the shovel. From there, the footprints just disappear.
How close to the fence is it?
It's right there. It seems like you would deduce that essentially somebody jumped the fence, landed on the dirt pile, and then came through.
Okay. And looking over the fence, can I see any footprints from there by chance?
There's nothing.
Okay. Tracking the footprints, do I see where they walked through the flowers?
Yeah, so these flowers grow wild. They are the petals from what he calls, or what's called the Ramson plant.
Okay.
And there are several patches in the church graveyard.
Okay.
Like it's essentially like the holy wildflower.
Yeah,
Right.
I got you. Not seeing anything else that makes any sense out here aside from just the path these people or this person took inside. I'm going to kneel down and start casting detect magic as a ritual. Let them do whatever they got to do during that 10 minutes or so.
Okay. So you guys are out here with Father Lucian.
Mm-hmm.
He explains the graves. You all notice that there are 6 fresh graves dug, like they're preparing for a burial.
Right.
That's the only other thing of note that I would give you all.
Is that where the fresh dirt came from? Was those graves?
One would reduce. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Do these graves have headstones ready? Or
No. They just
6 holes.
There's 6 holes that are dug.
Expecting
My question would be, we would assume that they went back out the window, but do we see any kind of like tracking as to where they went after they left?
He did say that the only tracks I saw were coming toward the window. He said that.
Right. Yeah. So I'm just trying to make sure, like on
trying
our
to deduce
end,
how he left
Right.
after.
That's a good
Yeah.
call.
because my brain is thinking if all the things that obviously I don't just table talk, everything that you have seen, Jynx, is them coming in. Where'd they go?
In the middle of casting this ritual, hearing that, Jynx is going to snap his head over and look at the father and ask, does Yeska stay here with you as well, or does he have a home outside of the church?
As Father Lucian's in this conversation with X, he hears this question being asked and kind of just stops and looks over and says, that Yeska stays here. He has his own room just across the hall from me.
Okay.
Yeska has brown hair. Just so we go ahead and
And
clarify.
it's short.
we're not-
it's short
And
as
it's
well.
short. Yeah. It's
I just want to make sure you all have, as you start to put things together, I just want to make sure you guys have all the information. That's all.
Yep.
You're the father of the people here. Who has long black hair around here?
Well, I'm sure you've looked
Embers
around.
gray.
There's a lot of people around here that have long black hair. Ones I could think of off the top of my head. Milivoj. But I
before
can't.
before you think of any other names, think of a person who would be athletic.
Again, that would point to Milivoj, but Milivoj's worked for me for years. He's our grave tender, undertaker, if you will. Never had an issue with him.
Has he ever said anything off about the idea behind the bones being something significant?
No, to my knowledge, he doesn't even know about the bones. He kind of like brushes it off for a second, and he's like, he's your average 19-year-old boy. He hates the world, hates his upbringing, just looking for purpose in the world. Seeing that and knowing the house that he comes from, I gave him a job as our groundskeeper and caretaker as far as the dead go.
Okay. And if you were to point in the direction of where he lives,
Like, I could tell you where he lived.
I'm talking about if we're standing here looking towards your graveyard, is he in this direction or is he in the town's direction?
He's asking which side of the building he would approach from.
I got you.
Yeah.
He points to the west, past the dirt pile and the barrier.
So the same direction the footprints came in from. Is there anything out here that looks to have rust-colored dirt? Any other gray cloth snagged on a fence or anything?
I did tell you that the spade head of the shovel was heavily rusted.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
That's pushed into the dirt.
got it.
One final thing. I think and this is more of a table thing, I think we should try looking at the altar again. Just the thought process that I have.
I mean, we're going to head back. We can also try and see if we can find footprints that lead away from the altar.
Just you say that, Father Lucian speaks up and says, now that you say that, the next morning, I didn't think of it really being anything. Then there was a clump of dirt by the main entrance. I just chalked it up as Yeska not sweeping like I asked him to. We've had, I'm sure you know, quite the rainy season that never stops around here.
Was the door unlocked when you found it?
Come to think of it, yeah, it was that morning.
So there's our path out.
Just out of pure practice for investigating. Would he have a reason to take the bones?
No, and he kind of like scoffs, not as like insult, but like that's a preposterous question, right? No, kind of just like when someone asks a ridiculous question, you're like, no. He goes, that kid doesn't have honestly a religious bone in his body. I don't even know how he would know about the bones. We don't openly talk about them. Really, the only two that should know they're here are me and Yeska.
How close are Yeska and this kid?
Well, I mean, they're roughly the same age. They talk through the day.
How impoverished is he?
How provish? How
No.
poor is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who?
Impoverished.
Impoverished. Yeah, I was like, hold on, that's not the right word. Who? Yeska or
The other
Malvoy?
one.
Malvoy?
Yeah.
Father kind of like nods his head, like down. Says his parents have a terrible addiction to a certain pie in the area. I can't say
Jynx,
him.
Jynx slow turns and straight at Torin. Like, it's the
Right.
most awkward and on-the-nose fucking thing on the planet.
As soon as you said that, I knew I get looked at. And Torrance is looking Torrance doesn't even fucking. He's not blinking. He's just staring straight at these fucking. Because I guess we're still in front of these great open fucking holes. I'm just staring in the bottom. imagining myself jumping in.
But, yeah, to say he's had a good life is an overstatement, and he feels a personal need to take care of his 9 siblings.
9 siblings.
God damn.
Jesus.
So,
you
think you could
Well, they
use
all
it
used
by
to-
coin?
They all used to be orphans.
But where would he sell the bones, and how would he say that?
Could possibly
How do you
certain somebody
financially
need
gain
them for something. Strahd,
How about
"Hey, here you
It's a
go."
good idea.
How about we go talk to him in the morning before we head off to the hunter's cabin?
Yep.
Unless Father Petrovich here thinks there's somewhere else we should check or has any other ideas for us. We seem to be at a dead end. We
Yeah.
can sit here and talk what ifs for the rest of the night, or we can get some rest and go talk to this kid in the morning before we head out.
Definitely sleep on it. That help.
there's one more question I do want to ask. You say only you or Yiska know about the bones.
He
Do you
nods.
ever discuss about the bones anywhere bar inside the church?
He immediately starts shaking his head. No. Because no, I purposely don't do that. With how valuable these bones are to us, I would prefer most think they are a myth.
Before we leave, I'm going to take a rough sketch of the boot print that I found. Just for size and shape and all that.
Yeah,
Throw
that's
that
fine.
in my bag.
Yeah, you can do that.
And
Lay
I-
down, you fucking whore.
I took the like piece of gray cloth that was on the nail. I took that as well.
Okay. Um,
Back to the inn for some rest, and then we'll drop. But will he be home in the morning with his harem of children?
I mean, he should be. Usually he
We
gets
are.
here. He gets here usually 9, 10 in the morning. It just depends. I know right now he's working with there we go, Henrik. With getting 6 coffins built for a service coming up.
Sure. Okay. Who died?
I was gonna ask that, but I was like, I don't know if that's relevant.
So honestly, I'm not too sure. I'm still kind of getting that. I'm still trying to get the full details. From what I understand, there was a group of traveling performers who had recently been out west, in between here and Kresk. Apparently, terribly, they were mauled by
Werewolf.
as you say that, he just like snaps over towards you and just nods. Forgive me, I don't like to speak of such blasphemous creatures. From what I understand, they either arrived today or they will arrive tomorrow to the casket maker, to Henrik.
Jynx looks over at the rest of you guys and holds up the drawing, the boot, and says, "If this belongs to Rictavio, I will beat him to death."
Yeah, I mean, he's probably still at the bar, right?
Not anymore, but we know which room he's in.
I can send your little friend to check his fucking boots.
I sure as shit can.
Let's go get some rest.
He does ask. He says, "I understand you have to investigate, but please do remember these are still children that we're dealing with. If you question either Yeska or Malvoy, just please keep that in mind. They are children.
I would
And
disagree that
they're-
19's a child, but I understand your point.
They're young, and at their soul and their core, they're good kids. So please just
Thank
be
you.
easy with them."
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I agree with Jinx. We should just head back, settle, get ready for the craziness that'll probably happen when we deal with Rictavio. Uh,
Anything else for Father right now?
No.
no.
Yeah, if you all want to go back to the inn, I think that's
Yep.
the only place really to go. The
Mhm.
streets are very quiet. The mist has set in a little extra thick. As you all have noticed, it does at nighttime. As the temperatures slightly shift, it has a little bit more of an icy sting as you all walk down the quiet streets. You get back to the inn. The inn is completely quiet. The fireplace is smoldering. There's no life. You all make your way back up to your rooms. You prepare whatever you're going to do for the evening, and then we can go to tomorrow.
Cast Find Familiar and send a spider underneath the door to go look at Rictavio's boots.
As you do this, the spider is going to report. I'll just give you the summary of it. A couple things. Rictavio is not in his room. There is a pair of boots. The spider. Can you see through the? Yeah, you can see through the spider, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are a completely different pattern of boot.
Perfect. I'll
Like-
dispel the familiar completely, and I'll go into my sentry mode in the hallway and shut down for the evening.
Fully ready to FBI opened up his fucking bedroom door.
Yeah, and I'll share that with everybody. Obviously, I won't keep quiet on that, but
Okay, so you all are relayed that message. You all go ahead and lay down for the eve. Who's sleeping in which room?
I thought we were all in the same room, and
Are you
Jinx
all-
stayed out. Jinx
That's
stayed
right,
out in the
you
hallway.
guys- You guys are in the big room of 4, right?
Yeah, and Jinx is the statue outside the door.
About halfway through the night, in your lovely slumber, you begin to feel a rush of cold air. And in your dream, you're back home in a house where just moments ago it was warm and cozy. Along with this cold rush of air, you begin to hear this like tap. Every couple seconds, just tap, 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 tap. Eventually, you kind of realize in your dream that you're hearing these noises that make no fucking sense. And you wake up. And you notice that one of the windows in your all's room have opened up. And the tap tap you're hearing is the vacuum created by the wind of the window hitting the sill. And reopening. And closing. And reopening. The cold rush is just the gust of the nighttime winds pushing through as it pushes and pulls the windowsill. It happens to affect you because your bed is essentially right in front of this window.
Ooh.
What do you do?
That was a goddamn window.
Yeah. Shut the fucking window.
As you
I would peek out the window if I was the one closing it, though.
as you look around, the fog seems to be, or the mist seems to be extremely dense, almost reminding you of when you all first arrived. You haven't seen it this thick since you've made it out. of the initial woods into the village of Barovia. As you look around, you don't see anything. You begin to hear the squeaking of some creature that's roughly at the same level or height as you. As you close the window, you see probably 20 pairs of red glowing eyes hanging upside down in a tree that's roughly 30, 40 yards away from where you're currently at. And as all of these eyes open at once, you watch as a black mass of these wings spread and a swarm of bats take off into the mist.
They ain't coming inside, so I'm gonna go back to
Yeah.
bed.
As far as you know.
Well, that's
Oh,
what I'm
just
saying.
far
Like
away.
my initial reaction is to just go back to my bed, but I'm not going back to sleep.
So you
I
go
am
back to
going
your
to-
bed.
I would have a look around to see if anything did come in.
You're asleep,
Reveal.
motherfucker. You shut up.
All right, I thought we all woke up.
No, just him. All of you all are fast
Come on,
asleep.
all right.
Oh, I didn't hear
Fuck
you
this,
say
man.
just X.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought we all woke up.
No.
No, I would go back to the bed. I'd actually sit, not on the edge, but like meditative style on the bed. But I'm upright. And I'll actually say something to Gravin. In Elvish.
He's asleep.
Right, but I would say it so that maybe he would hear me.
Oh, okay.
Right,
But I'm
like to
also-
try to arouse him. He's doing the trance thing.
Yeah.
So
That's
technically,
right. So you can hear. You're right.
both of
Okay.
us, yeah. So I would just say I don't know if something's in here, but you may want to wake up.
Can I roll perception to see if I heard that? Since I don't go to sleep either. I know I'm outside the door, but
Yeah, I would say. Are you like right outside the door, or like?
if they opened the door, they would run into me before they
Okay.
made it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah,
Mhm.
just straight roll. Yeah.
Yeah, he's our gargoyle.
14.
Here.
Okay. Would this be late enough in the night where Gravin and I would have gotten our full rests?
This is like 3 o'clock in the morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning. So
So
yeah.
about 4 hours, roughly. Okay. Okay. I will gently open the door and just kind of poke my head in just to see why I heard a voice, not knowing if Gravin will wake up or not. But I poke my head in and kind of look at Zavath.
Gravin wakes up, says, "Let that one sleep. He needs it."
Big bitch.
My Hard is
Grab.
probably laid on his back, mouth wide open, and tongue.
Just
completely out of his
loud.
head.
One leg totally out from under the covers, hanging off the bed and shit.
It's like as he snores, like his frost breath just like vaguely like comes out of his
Yeah.
mouth. Like,
The ice
No.
crystals form above his face.
yeah.
So he's covered in frost on his face all fucking night long.
Gravin, give me a perception at disadvantage as you wake up.
I'll go ahead and step the rest of the way into the room and bring Skitter out too.
17 at disadvantage.
God damn, brother.
That is, you wake up and kind of like
Mine-
are coming
yeah.
to. On the ceiling directly above your bed, you notice a black raven feather that seems to be stuck to the ceiling. And as you take a second, and as you look over above each of the beds in the room, there is a black raven feather.
I poked my head outside the room. Is there one in the ceiling above where I was?
There is.
I'm gonna send Skitter out to collect all 4 of them for us and bring them back to me.
They are black feathers that, if you hold them right in the light, they have that like chameleon, like blue, that neon blue
They're like
tint to them.
opalescence almost.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
Well, remember what they said. Raven's good. What made you wake us up, X?
I was having a dream, and for what it's worth, a dream. And as I woke up from it, I was in my dream. Someone was tapping. When I woke up, the window was shaking. The window was open. I don't remember opening the window, but I go to the window and I see
Was it bats?
bats staring at me.
Raven's
they flew
good.
off.
Bats bad.
Are we sure of that? I remember hearing bats are bad. I remember hearing that ravens can be good. I don't explicitly
better.
remember there being a polarization between the two either, though.
I don't. The only thing, we're based on our experience. The only thing that we saw was that ravens were showing up to fight when they pushed us into Vallaki. But that doesn't mean that they're
Yeah.
on our side.
Well, I did punch that one blue-haired
You knocked the
raven
right
lady.
the fuck out.
Yeah, I slapped the fuck out of her.
So there's it. I don't know.
Maybe these are
But-
protection things.
It could
I mean,
be to keep
you make a
them-
good point, and that leads into what he's saying. I mean, it's hard to dispute it. Maybe
Yeah.
we should hang on to one of these.
Maybe it was their way of saying don't touch us for now. I don't know.
I'll go ahead and hand a feather to each of them, and then I'm going to stick one inside of Torrent's backpack.
I was gonna say stick it in his mouth, wake him up.
As you do.
Fire
Up his
cobra.
fucking nose, bro. Right up his fucking nose.
I was gonna say, as you do this, Torrance sneezes and shoots an ice shard straight into the ceiling.
I guess go ahead and go back to bed. Try and get some rest. I got my full rest, so I'm good. But if you need it, at least try and get some rest. I mean, if not, I guess
You
we
make
can.
sure he gets his rest.
Well, yeah, he clearly is.
You all might as well. You all check, double check, triple check to make sure all
Yeah.
the windows are locked again.
Yeah, I checked the rest of the room. Look for anything
I-
potentially missing, anything like that.
Nope, there's nothing missing, nothing like that.
Cool.
Just think Lost Boys.
I just
That's what I was going for there. Only I don't have
Yeah.
a creepy kid floating in the window. Fuck that.
What were you trying to say, Connor?
I know. I was just gonna say when Torrance says I need to get my sleep. I just imagine as he says that, I instantly went for a ball scratch.
Just
Nails on scales.
Nails on scales. Yep.
It's like, God damn.
all right. You all go ahead and make sure the room's secure. There's nothing else of interest or of alert, and you all are able to get the rest of your rest if you need it. The sun begins to come up, and by this point, if you all aren't naturally up, I'm sure Jynx would come in and go ahead and wake everybody up, as you all do have a very early fucking morning.
Yep.
You all begin to gather your things. You all do wake up a bit earlier than usual, especially with you all having to make an extra pit stop before going to meet Zoldar and do that whole thing.
Everyone remember to click your long rest button.
Yep. I'll say it is roughly 5:36 in the morning. Everybody had no issue long resting. All right, so the next morning comes. You all go ahead and prepare yourselves
Pop
for
up,
the
do what
day.
you gotta do.
Yep. I take it you guys are hitting the floor fucking running.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Especially after last night. He's a coming.
Do you guys talk about last night, or do you guys? Because you all have so
It
roughly
would be
you all have like a 15-minute walk, like a 10-15 minute walk to get to. Because you remember you got to go almost to the west gate to get to Milivoj's fucking house, right? Like Father told
Right.
you where it was, so you got to go past the church. So you have a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit of time to walk.
mean-
if you guys wanted to have
I
conversation.
mean, if I noticed a feather in my backpack, I'd 100% be like, "Why the fuck is there a raven feather in my backpack?"
Jinx
I
would have told
would-
you the moment you woke up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We would have that conversation. You wouldn't be surprised by anything. It'd be more so of saying that was a solid reminder that what we're doing, he's watching us.
Someone else
Weird
clearly
enough.
is too.
We're not saying
Someone
fucking
else.
anywhere.
There's a lot more going on than us just trying to find a kid. Like, this shit's getting wild. So, careful who you talk to. Careful what you say out loud.
We're headed to Malfoy's fucking, I don't remember his name.
So, as you all kind of go ahead and walk through the streets are still very quiet. Nobody's really hustling and bustling. You start to see some candle lights and stuff come on in different houses, a couple of chimneys smoking. Life's starting to wake up for the day, but you guys are definitely early. As you all go ahead and start to pass the Saint Andral's Church, the muddy road leads into the town's northwest quarter. It's rough and uneven. Immediately, you can tell just by the quality of the road that this is the poor side of town. Chilled by the persistent fog that seems to cling to the soaked earth beneath your feet. As you move further from the town center, the streets narrow and the houses grow grimier and more dilapidated. The smell of damp wood and mildew filling your nostrils. Your path leads you to a leaning, decrepit structure that seems to sag beneath its own weight. Its timbers are rotting, the windows cracked and filthy. At its front, a ramshackled wooden door stands slightly askew in its frame atop a small, mud-spattered porch.
A rap, tap, tap. Let's knock on the door.
As you knock on the door and wait a second, you begin to hear just chaos of children on the other side. What you would expect to hear in a house of 9 fucking children first thing in the morning. And you hear a female voice kind of bark unaudible orders. After a minute, though, you start to hear footsteps come towards the door, and the door begins to push open. As the door groans open, revealing a gaunt, glassy-eyed woman standing on the other side. Her hair is matted with grease and hangs in knots across her shoulders, and a painted, beaded necklace hangs around her neck. Its colors faded and chipped with age. Behind her, you see a trio of young children wrestling and shouting as they roll across a cramped living space stuffed with old, threadbare furniture and an old, stained rug. 2 other children, a near-adolescent boy with long, shaggy hair and a freckled girl of similar age wearing cracked, oversized glasses, peer curiously around a pair of overstuffed patchwork armchairs at the sight of you. The woman at the door grunts, her hollow gaze scanning you expectantly.
I would just say hello.
And goodbye.
She just stares at you.
We would like to speak with Malfoy.
Milivoj.
That's what I said.
Booty traps.
And this woman kind of just looks at you all up and down. And just seems to be slightly annoyed. Her face a bit sunken in, and a hint of irritation can just be felt from her.
I lean back on their busted up porch there, and I pull out that little snack cake I got from the pie lady.
Yo,
Shit.
I forgot you had that. God damn.
And I just sit there.
Ain't no way.
Hold on. I was reading. Say again.
He pulled out drugs in front of the drug addict.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You pulled out a pie.
Yeah.
Well, not the pie, but the pastry. I picked up the second encounter.
I got you.
It's all the same drugs.
She takes a second, but as you're going to pull this out, this woman kind of looks back towards these two almost out of adolescence kids that I just described, and just like grunts at them. And the boy of the two yells for Malivoj and kind of like runs off to a back room. As she kind of like turns and looks back towards you all. You all watch as her eyes just lock on to the pastry that Gravin's holding.
Great. Good.
Where was your boy on the night of the tree falling on the church?
Without breaking eye contact. Don't know. Don't really care.
Take a little piece of corner off. Like, are you sure?
She licks her lips. Like I said, don't know. Don't care.
I eat
Got
that
too
little
many
piece.
kids to take care as you eat it. You all kind of watch as like she like leans forward a little bit and then like comes back, like trying to like get control of herself. Don't know. Don't care. Boy's almost an adult. He like kind of like looks over and keeps going between like your face and the pastry. Your face and the pastry. Where'd you get that?
Doesn't matter where I got it.
Where'd you get it?
You know exactly where I got it.
She in town?
Haven't seen her in quite a minute.
Any extra?
That depends. You can have this whole pastry. Just tell us what we want to know.
Like I said, don't know. Don't care.
That's not what I want to know.
Jynx looks over at Gravin and says, sounds like she doesn't know enough to earn it, huh?
No?
At that time, this teenager comes out, and the one that
As
went
he
back-
comes around the corner, Jynx is going to step in front of Gravin to hide the pastry from the kid.
comes around and just says, so Malivoj's feeling sick, and he said that he can't come to you right now. So if you guys want to come back later, like that would be awesome.
He can come out now or we'll come in and get him.
Give me a persuasion or intimidation.
Do I get advantage since there's 4 of us standing here?
Yeah, I'll give that.
And this is a little crack house, man. We got this.
What if I just feel like a 7 foot tall?
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here going, How did we get here?
Uh,
I was just
22.
trying
Oh,
to
it's
say hello.
22 on persuasion.
From behind this kid, you hear the girl who's about the same age, and she just hollers, "Milo, someone's here to speak with you. Come on."
We don't want any problems, guys.
She turns and says, "He's just not social. I'm sure he'll be out in a minute. I'll go."
Tell you what, do me a favor while you're back there. I'm going to pull out a piece of platinum, 1 platinum coin, and I'm going to grab her hand and I'm going to place it in her palm and close her fingers around it and say, bring his boots out here with you, please. I don't want to
While
keep
this
him. I
is
just want to look
happening,
at him.
As
I'll-
she takes it from you, as she turns, she goes, "Okay, he wears them," and like walks back into the house.
Hey, I can live with that. As long as they come out, I don't give a shit.
And-
I'll say to Gravin, you may want to check the back of the house, see if he runs.
I will.
As soon as she steps away, the mom again standing there says, "So, are we gonna share?"
Maybe in a minute.
Little piece.
You haven't earned it, lady.
I opened the door, did I not?
You opened the door before you knew we even had it. That was hardly part of the deal.
Well, how deals change. This door can close as quick as it opened.
I shut the door in her face. Go ahead and go around the back. I'll stop myself.
I'm going off to the left side. I think Gravin should go to the right side. We watch this.
I'll just say I'll stand down the front, boys.
Yeah, I'll stand there and wait for him to come out.
So who's going where?
I am on the left side of the house. I'm keeping, depending on how large this building is, right?
Bro, facility. This facility, you said.
And I was like, that sounds.
It's a fucking chicken coop, bro.
Bro,
Yeah,
it's
crack
a
out.
shanty. It's a fucking shanty.
I will stand at an angle in the middle of the side of the house so that I can see the back.
That way you
and
just see.
them in
Okay.
the front.
Yeah.
Correct. Motherfuckers, just stay with me on this, all right?
After about 30
Hey.
seconds, as you all kind of
Don't
like spread out around this facility,
the mama.
look, it's like the fucking McDonald's CEO
Hey,
calling the
it's-
burger a product.
Yeah. Wait,
Pissing me off.
is this? Am I confused? Is this the person who has 9 kids?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The half of them are more than half are orphans that they kind of
Yeah.
adopted. But yeah,
Are they all in this fucking shack?
Yeah.
I was on
Good.
the assumption it was larger
anyways,
because of mine.
Remember
Closer to adults.
when
So
I
I'm
told
like,
you boys that I dip into like real life horror and this shit?
Yeah,
This is one of those like arcs.
great. Cool.
But,
Cool.
After
Cool.
as you guys kind of all spread around the building there, to the facility, if you will, to
Mama.
wait for runners or squirters, as some of us call them. About a minute later, you hear a
hold on,
Young.
time out. Connor's fucked up from that comment. That's a common,
Yeah,
common police and military term here in the U.S. for when someone escapes
Yes.
out of a facility.
We have
come on. Can we let the facility go? Damn it, I'm sorry.
you all hear a an adult male voice, but we all know we sounded different when we were 19 to when we're fucking 30 or 40, right? So
Well,
you
most of us.
yeah. You all
I remember
hear
shit.
from inside, or Jynx, you do. You hear,
A lot of years ago.
"It's fine, Mom. I'll talk to them. Just move. You don't need any more." and the door opens, and out steps this 19-year-old white kid with shoulder-length black hair, piercing blue eyes, face extremely, like, symmetric. Like, he looks nothing like the haggard-ass woman that you all just fucking saw.
Okay.
But he kind of steps out, and with that angsty attitude, just, what?
What colored clothes is he wearing?
Right now he is wearing a gray shirt with tan pants.
And does he have boots on?
He does.
Do they appear to match the size? Roughly. I recognize I'm not holding a drawing up to them, but ballpark, are they close?
Roll me a d20. Just a straight d20.
Why do I see Jynx just kneeling, grabbing his
Right,
leg, and lifting it up?
Pick him up by his foot.
I'm ready.
I thought about it, to be fair. I rolled a 2.
I'm probably ready to rugby tackle this cunt to the ground and show his foot.
As all this is happening, like, you notice that the boots seem to be a bit big on him. And that's really what you're hyper focused on with you in particular. Like, why are you wearing oversized boots? Like, those don't fit correctly. That's not advantageous at all. It is completely wrong. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like,
I completely missed the actual size comparison that I'm looking for.
it's literally like, you immediately just lock onto that. Like, that's not fucking the wall. Yeah.
And it's Torin up here with me, right?
I
Yeah.
believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still.
We're all here.
Like I said, I'm ready to rugby tackle this little fuck.
Well, yeah, the other two were around the side of the house, though, thinking that he might have been a squirter. Okay. So Jynx is very focused on the abnormally sized shoes and is just staring at them while he's talking to this kid. So you work at, and he just kind of drones out for a second, just very clearly preoccupied. He's completely focused on this.
So as that happens, the door kind of like pushes open and you hear like young children laughter, and there's like a random, like what looks to be like a 3 or 4 year old like boy who tries to like push out and is yelling for Milo. And then along with him are 2 twin girls roughly close to the same age, like 5 or 6, who are all trying to get out to Milo is what they're calling him. And he kind of like stops for a second, like turns, he's like, I'll be in a minute. Just let me talk to these nice people. And they're like, okay, Bubby. And then they run back.
All of you living here.
Yeah. He kind of like looks at you like you're fucking stupid. Like, yeah.
Hearing the conversation, I'd make my way back towards them.
How long have you been working for the church?
I don't know, like the last like year and a half. Ever since my dad got in an accident.
Why are your shoes so big?
Kind of like looks down and says, they're not, they fit just fine.
No, they're too big.
He like takes his foot and like pushes them back to where like your heel should be.
Yeah, trying to hide it.
Yeah. He's like, no, they're fine.
Oh.
They're just worn in.
Oh.
What does it matter anyways?
Jynx looks over at Torin as though he's asking permission.
I just give a slight nod. The way this little cunt just fucking just said, I don't care. Yeah.
I'm going to reach up and grab him by his shirt and slam him against the door. Not hard enough to hurt him. I'm not trying to cause any kind of damage. I'm trying to scare him more than anything.
As soon as this happens as well, I'll try and move in between Jynx and Matey Boy and the rest of them, just in case anyone tries moving out towards Jynx.
I am not interested in your shitty attitude. I am interested in resolving a problem. Do you want to help me resolve that problem, or do you want to become a new problem?
kind of just like looks, and you can tell he's visibly shaken, but he kind of just like lets you like hold him up like that, and he's like, "Your problems aren't my problems."
They are today.
Well, that's a you problem.
I'm going to turn around without letting go of him and start dragging him toward the church.
Him. Because I didn't walk back up front, I start seeing this. I'm like, oh, we're leaving. Like, okay, I'm good on the rest of this.
As
I'll
you
throw
all,
behind just in case, though. I will
as
throw.
you all start to walk away, the cries and screams of small children yelling, "Bubby, Bubby, where are you going, Bubby? Come back, Bubby!" begin to fill the streets hysterically. Where others
I
can
stop.
hear.
I stop. And I get in close to the kid and I say, if you would like to return to them in the same condition you are in right now, tell them that you will be back shortly. You just have to go to work for a bit and you'll be back. We will do no harm to you, but you need to play ball.
I don't even know who the fuck you are.
And we'll tell you on the way.
Well, not. How about we go back to the fucking porch so we don't scare my fucking siblings?
Then play ball. We could have stayed on the porch.
Then we can play ball here. You grabbing me is not the answer.
I think you missed my point, son. My point is that we wouldn't have had to grab you if you hadn't been a snot-nosed little prick since you came out the door.
As you say that, he goes, and my point is go fuck yourself.
I punch him square in the face.
Oh, that's escalated so fast. So fast.
You didn't know.
He's an angsty.
I don't give
Everybody
a
else as a team. Like I get it. I get it.
I get it. I was just like, oh, we're doing this.
I don't give him everything I've got. I'm not trying to hurt the kid because I know what my fists can do. I'm a single point of damage at most is all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to shock him more than anything.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
you. I know exactly what you're doing. You're doing what our dads did to us.
100%. 100%. I'm teaching a lesson here.
Yeah.
Seeing this, I would like try to broaden up a little bit and try to get the X and Torn kind of in between us, just so the little ones couldn't actually see it.
Bro, I'm trying to figure out if I reckon there's some fucking like form of CPS in Barovia.
Like in that moment, these kids they were already hysterical after seeing this happen. They are losing their ever-loving shit. Ironically, though, the mother doesn't come out. It's just these young kids screaming on the porch as loud as they can, hysterically crying, calling you monsters and everything under the sun. And as this hit kind of lands,
keep him from going down. I want to be clear. I keep him from going down. I cradle him. I catch him.
Backhanded him. I get what you were doing.
Just trying to wake him up.
He kind of stops for a second. He goes, "Listen, we can talk, but stop. You're scaring my siblings."
I've been trying to talk since I got here.
All right, I get it, and so am I. You're the one that's coming and asking me, and then just rip me off my porch. Just relax. I'll relax.
Okay, let's go back to the porch. I completely let go of him.
As you let go, he walks back, and he immediately starts almost walking. As he's stepping forward, he's like crouching down to their level, and immediately begins consoling them, just saying, like, no, it's okay. Like, we were just playing. Like, Bubby's okay. And like, meanwhile, Bubby totally has a fucking like shiner on his fucking cheek. Because even though you didn't want to hit him hard, you're still metal.
Yeah, I get it.
It's still gonna leave a mark. And he's like, it's fine. Just remember what we practiced. Go in and count to 200, and I'll come find you. And the three youngest kids all look at him, and the boy wipes a tear from his face. And he says, "Can I take Blinksy?" And Milo just immediately nods and kind of chuckles and says, "Of course, he's there to keep you safe. Now go hide." And these kids kind of like take a second and like all just fixate on Jynx. Not in like a bad way, but like inquisitive, right? Like a small kid doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like right?
When they do that, because Jynx is not capable of reading human emotion very well, he gets down and pulls out a couple rations and says, "Hey, I don't want to play with you guys the way that I played with him. You're kind of little. I don't want to hurt you. Your brother's tough. Are you guys hungry?" And I just kind of hold out 6 rations that I have. I pulled 4 out of party inventory and 2 out of mine, just so you guys know.
They all three like immediately like hone in on the food and like nod, and the little boy just comes up and snatches them from you, like almost hesitant, and then just like
Yeah.
grabs and like backs off, like reels real
Sure.
quick, right?
And I make no move whatsoever.
When was the last time any of you ate? Just going off their reactions to Jinx giving them the food.
They all just look at, like, the kids all look at you. They're just like inquisitive. And
As tall as I am, I do try and get down to their level as well.
That's fine.
So standing over him.
And Milo, as he's kind of like trying to rub the spot where he just got punched, he was like, "It's been a few days."
Oh,
He says, "Now, hold on." And he turns, he says, "All right, now go. Start counting." And they all run in, and he stops and grabs the boy by his collar real quick. And he turns and says, "Make sure you share with the others." And then pats him on the butt, and they run in. But he turns back.
Where's his mother standing?
He's
He's in the
inside, right?
house somewhere.
She
Yeah.
never came back out.
I just want to know if she can see us, or she's just fucked off
Nope, she's
inside
fucked
the
up.
house. I pull out 10 gold and hand it to him and say, "Hide this from your mother. Get some food."
Kind of looks at it, and as you're like handing it out, he's like, "Is that what this is?"
Not at all.
You just hit me, and now you're trying to pay me?
No, I hit you because you deserved it. We're paying you because
I
you
know.
also deserve to eat, just like every other person out here
Yeah.
does. They're 2 completely unrelated things.
You all can see in his face he has like that. He's trying to like hold that angsty, like tough guy act, right? But desperately just wants to fucking give in and just take it. As you all kind of watch this like back and forth within himself and his facial features, he does reach out and he does take the gold. And he just kind of nods towards you, Torin, and says, "It'll be used for the right things."
There's more with that where that came from if you sit down and have a conversation with us and be honest.
Haven't had an issue having a conversation, but you all just came up here demanding to talk. You have to understand it from my side. Like, I'm sitting here providing for my entire family. My parents are fucking useless.
Yeah, we know. We heard.
Speaking of which, I take half that pastry, you rip it in half. It's like, here's your little bit of control over them.
He grabs it as soon as you hand it. As soon as you hand it to him, he takes it and chucks it out in the street.
Smart kid.
He's like, nobody should eat that.
We found that out the hard way. Or one of us did at least. So
it's
listen,
like a
I'm
slow stone turn to Torin.
Again.
Big star.
listen, kid. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to scare your family. I'm not here to disrupt anything. I'm not here to create problems. We're here to talk. And this didn't have to go this way. We're just trying to have a conversation. We were sent here by Father Petrovich.
As you say that, he kind of like perks up
I thought that might get your attention.
Well, yeah, he's who I work for.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so what?
I want to talk to you about the bones in the basement.
Bones in the basement. What?
Insight check. 19.
As you say that, you notice that his body language grows extremely tense and he begins to shift uncomfortably.
Okay. So after he says what, and I witness that, I'm going to say, I thought you might know what I was talking about. Why don't we sit down on the porch and have a real conversation? Don't you dare fucking lie to me, though.
Me a persuasion or intimidation? How are you going about it?
Persuasion is what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to scare the kid. I'm just trying to be honest. If he is intimidated by honesty, that's his own damn fault.
Oh, I got you.
17.
I mean, he's a good kid at his core.
Sure.
So that's why I was asking which way you were going with it.
We were good kids, too. We still did sketchy shit sometimes because in our head it was necessary.
True.
Yes, right.
He takes a second and he like nods and goes to sit down on the edge of the porch.
Tell me what you know about him. I'm not asking you to admit to anything. I'm just asking what you know about him.
I mean, he's a great guy. He's run the church for the last.
No, not Saint,
40 years.
not Father Lucian. No, the bones.
I know it's a stupid myth. I know they apparently protect the entire church, but
Allegedly, yeah.
nobody's ever seen them. I don't believe they exist. I don't believe God exists.
Yeah, me either.
I think I'm still here.
What do I have to do with them?
I think you took him.
Of course you do. Everybody blames me for everything.
I'm gonna pull the drawing out of my out of my pouch, my bag, and lay it down on the ground next to his boots. How does it look?
Most exact.
So, we were in the basement where the bones used to be, and I sketched that footprint right there off of a footprint that was left on the ground. And I'm going to pull out the little gray piece of cloth and I'm going to lay it on top of the drawing next to that piece of cloth that was caught on a nail. And I'm going to pull out the hair and lay it next to the cloth, next to that hair that was on the altar. And all these things look an awful lot like shit you got on right now. If it wasn't you, I'm willing to hear the explanation. But right now, it looks like it was you. I don't think it's you because of your station in life. I don't care about that. I think it's you because the evidence points to you. Nothing more. If it's, I don't want it to be you.
Me a perception roll.
18.
As you stand there next to him as he sits, you can tell, like, you see, like, the backside of his gray shirt kind of, like, lean forward. You know what I mean? Like, roll around the side of his hip.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see where a piece of fabric
It's missing.
is missing.
Where can I find the bones? Your name doesn't have to be a part of this. But I gotta return them.
Kind of just, like, takes a second. Like, he's at that point where, like, he knows he's had. And you know how it was when we were that age. When you're had, you just look at the ground. You don't make eye contact with anybody.
You don't say a fucking word.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell he's just reeling in his own thoughts right now.
Jynx is gonna reach over and put a hand on his leg, almost trying to be parental, almost like comforting parental, and say, "Listen, kid, I get it."
So, like, as you go to put your hand on his leg, he kind of, like, jumps just reactively because, you know, you punched him.
Yeah, sure.
Just isn't ready for you to, like, touch him, but, like, he doesn't, like, push you away. It's just like as like you
Yeah.
go to like put your hand on him, he does like kind of like startle for a second.
And I'm super gentle about it, but without even looking over at him, I'm looking down at the ground too, almost trying to mimic his behavior, and just say, "Listen, kid, I can't put myself in the position that you were in. I can't begin to comprehend what it must be like to be responsible for so many people without any help from the people that are supposed to help you. I can't imagine what that's like. I have no frame of reference. I am not capable of understanding that. But stealing from a man who's given you the means to take care of that family, it's probably not the right path forward either."
Without looking at you, he just says, "They're just stupid bones."
Not the point. I agree, they are stupid bones. But they're not stupid to him. Some people would look at your family and say they're just stupid kids. They're not stupid to you.
Oh, which is why I
Did it. I know. You don't have to say it. I understand why you did it.
they're stupid bones and I needed the money.
How much did you get?
And who gave it to you?
100 gold.
I pull out 86 gold out of my pocket and put it in his hand. You can find gold other ways. I bet we could keep you busy.
He's on the verge of like that breakdown that we all had when we had those talks back in the day,
I'm-
where it's like you're
I'm
fucking
pushing
up.
him.
And here's I know.
I'm pushing him toward it intentionally. I'm trying to get him to do
And
that.
he's not broke, but he's there on the ledge, just fighting it back.
I look around at the guys and say, "Hey, what do you got?" And I point to the gold I put in his hand.
I'll drop 20. That's all I got
Here's
left.
100. What'd you say, Jordan?
I'll throw 20.
I'll throw in 24 because it just evens my number out.
Okay, so that's 150, right? Because I gave him 86.
You get 10, 96, 20,
Yeah, 150.
106. His,
So-
yeah.
In just a few seconds, there's 50% more than what you got out of that, and I guarantee you, we can give you more. You got to earn it, but there's more where that came from. You can earn a decent living without being dishonest.
As you say that, you all hear like the sniffles and watch like one tear just kind of like drop on the dirt in front of it, like under him. And he just starts rambling, and through his cries, he explains that it wasn't always like this, and he wishes that they could go back 2 years ago, back when his father was still a Vallakian soldier, and before he got injured, and before these pies took over their life as a way to cure the pain. And he just starts to ramble about how it's not any of the kids' fault, and he knows that, but without him stepping up, those kids are damned. And he just wishes it would go back to the way it was. And he starts to ramble about how he did it because he needed the money, and to him they are just stupid bones, and he's sorry, and just profusely starts.
I squeeze his leg gently, but I squeeze his leg to get his attention and just say, "Hey, it doesn't matter why you did it. We get it. I promise you all four of us get it. But they got to go back."
Kind of like sits up for a second and again just reiterates that there are these just trying to like not justify, but like obviously he just broke down, so he's trying to like regain himself.
Sure.
And just as like he wipes like the snot and the tears away from his face, he says they're just it's just a moldy old stupid relic anyways. Because nobody in the real world has time to believe in fairy tales.
I point up at Zavath and say, the things that I call fairy tales, he believes in. We don't agree on that, but it doesn't make what he can do any less real. Just because you never saw anything come from the bones or witnessed their protection or witnessed their influence over the people that believe they can protect them doesn't mean they don't do something. They don't need to be magical or blessed or from the gods or anything along those lines. They don't need to be some mystic relic to have influence.
So it's saying, like, as you say it, he just involuntarily, like, starts to, like, nod yes, like, in agreement with you.
So who paid you for the bones?
Without making eye contact, he says, "Enric,
Wow,
Fucking knew it.
really?
I fucking knew it.
he, he said they're an old family relic, and he just wanted to return them to the rightful resting place. And he offered me 100 gold, and I'm sorry." And he just again starts breaking the fuck down, like breaking the fuck down.
I'm gonna pull Skitter out, and I'm gonna write a note just for Skitter to take to the hunter's cabin, and just say we're gonna run a little late. And I'm gonna give it to Skitter, and I'm gonna ask Skitter to fly this to the cabin.
It'll take a little while, but obviously they're
Of
there
course.
waiting for you. So, and
Yep.
again, there's not really a rush on that particular thing. It's
Just
whenever you guys
wanted
are ready.
them, yeah, just wanted them to know that we're running a little behind, so they're not sitting there wondering where the fuck they are. I'm trying to maintain that relationship too. But I'm gonna look back over at the kid and say, "Are you able to get these and return them, or do we need to do it?
As you ask that, he immediately starts shaking his head no.
Do you want to come with us?
Again, he shakes his head no.
Okay.
I,
We'll leave your name out of it.
you please don't tell father.
I won't. I won't. You did what you needed to do to take care of your family. You are not ultimately the one that performed this action. You may have taken them, but you are not responsible. We're going to go have a conversation with Hemrick. Had the pleasure of meeting him last night.
kind of just like nods and just sits there sulking. Like,
Yeah, I stand up and start walking away.
okay. So
I do stop. I stop about 6, 7, 8 paces away from him and turn around and say, if I find out you're involved in something like this again, I'm going to come back and it's going to be a lot less fun.
start shaking his head no. That I won't. I won't.
Listen, we'll be in touch. I'm sure we could use somebody around town to do some things for us while we're gone. And we'll pay. Right, guys?
So,
I walk over to where he threw the pastry, pick it up off the ground so his mom's not fucking...
Jesus
Right.
fucking Christ.
No. So the mom's not out there
I
like,
know.
I get it. I get it.
Just
Stop
I
it.
get
I
find
get
it.
it.
Stop it.
The
Fucking
the
funny
cigarette
the way
addict
like,
fucking
Yep,
butt
there it
himself
is.
to the
Yep.
ground. It's that
Yep.
guy, yeah.
Yep.
as we're leaving, I walk past him and just give him like almost like a pat on the back. Just keep your head up.
when I pick that piece of pastry up, I'm like, Thorn, hungry?
I spit a fucking ice cube at you.
Side of the head.
As you guys start to walk away, Malvoy does speak up and says, ask one thing.
What's up?
Can you, if you can, make it so these pies never, ever are created again?
If we find a way to do that, we will see how we can influence it.
Again, he nods and just kind of sniffles as he's trying to collect himself. And you guys can go ahead and make your way towards the coffin shop. If you all would ask him, he would point you in the correct direction within Vallaki to get to the coffin shop.
Okay.
I would say that whole interaction probably took 30, 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I would say we're getting towards like 7 o'clock in the morning at this point. Most people are still asleep. As
That's perfect.
as you all make your way
That
to
sounds
this,
terrifying. That's perfect.
to this area, you all do eventually find this building. It's I don't want to say dilapidated, but it's definitely like a bare bones. It's not a shack by any means, but it's a rough house, right? And there is a little sign above the door that's shaped as a coffin. No words are engraved on it. Out front, there's a couple different casket lids leaned up against the windows and everything on display. As you walk up to the door is a solid wood door with a square panel that's currently blocked, like a view, like slider, like what is the password? One of those.
Okay.
Streets
Is
are
there-
relatively empty.
Relatively or empty?
Relatively. You all still see there are always roaming guards
Sure.
around the city.
I'm going to pop around the side of the building to where I'm completely out of eyesight of everyone but my friends here. And I'm going to cast Disguise Self, and I'm going to make myself look like Father Lucian.
Sneaky boy.
I will come back around and look at everyone and say, stay within earshot, but make yourselves scarce.
Will do.
And I'm going to go up to the front door, and I'm going to knock on the front door.
You knock on the front door. Nothing right away, but eventually you do start to hear essentially like rummaging and shambling coming down like wooden stairs, right?
Mhm.
And you hear a voice from inside, a very frantic, like I'm coming.
I reply back in Father Lucian's voice, because I'm a machine and I can replicate things pretty damn easily. No rush. Take your time, Henrik.
Give me a performance check. Advantage.
Thank fuck that one was higher. 22. My first one was a 6.
Hell yeah.
So, okay, for a brief minute, the slide kind of just opens up,
Mhm.
and on
And
the other
Henrik's a human, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like a dude. He's your stereotypical like tall man from Phantasm, like
Okay.
fucking
Got
like creepy old fucking skinny white guy, right? Like
Got it.
he's me in like 20 years as a mortician, right?
Just making sure I wasn't dealing with a halfling or something, that's all.
No, it's a human.
Oh,
Slides
Just ninja kick.
slams it open and like looks around.
As soon as the door pops open, good morning! Trying to emulate Father Lucian's demeanor and mannerisms and the behavior of a religious man, you know?
Yeah, so he kind of like, as he puts that slide open and you're just like, hi! For lack of better terms. Like, he kind of like takes a step back and he was like, oh, Father, is everything all right?
Everything's fine. I just wanted to come by and check on the progress of the coffins you were making for those 6.
Oh, he kind of like looks back and he's like, they're coming along as normal. Is there any custom modifications or engravings that need to be done? We don't know who they are.
Actually, yeah, I do have something, and I'm going to pull out the piece of paper with a boot print on it, but I'm not going to show the front. I'm just going to say, I got a piece of paper early this morning at the church. Somebody dropped it by. Can I come in?
Persuasion. At advantage.
First roll was a 19 plus 6. Is 25 enough? I can roll again if I don't need to.
That's fine.
Or if I do. Second roll was a 7.
Right. As you all can be wherever, I just wanted to throw you guys on the map.
Yeah,
Right.
that's fine.
Without hesitation, he says, "Of course," and says, "Just wait a second." Closes the little latch to the viewing window, and you hear a metallic click, and the door opens, and he takes a step back so you can come in.
I'm in.
As
Brevin, why? Why?
I'm just a bystander walking by so I can clear my fog of war, okay?
as you walk in, immediately you are in what appears to be a workshop. The workshop contains everything a carpenter would need to make coffins and furniture. 3 sturdy work tables stretch the length of the west wall. Hendra kind of takes a step back and says, "What exactly are you needing?"
Well, I'll be honest with you, Henrik.
Is the door still open? Is the door open or closed?
I didn't close it.
Okay, I was asking if you opened or if you closed it or not.
No, I did not close the door. I just stepped through. I'll be honest with you, Henrik, and I will pull the door closed as I'm saying this. I didn't come here to talk about this piece of paper, and I'll set it down, and he'll clearly see there's a boot print traced on it. I actually came here to talk to you about the repairs to the hole to the basement. There's some issues.
I assure you, it was new wood.
Oh no issue with the repair.
Really
The repair was wonderful. You did a fantastic job. No complaints about that whatsoever.
Well, then what?
Well, the issue is more so with the objects missing from the basement, and how I know that you were part of their disappearance.
He kind of just like stops for a second and looks and he says, what? But surely you're mistaken.
Oh no, I'm not mistaken. I recognize that you may think that I'm some stupid old priest, but I can assure you I am a highly intelligent individual, smarter than likely anyone in this town. Speaking about himself as Jynx speaking about himself, obviously, right? I've pieced a lot of things together, including backtracking the route that the intruder took to retrieve these items.
He kind of like holds his hands up for a second, like in the middle of your rant, and he goes, "Father, I know your lineage. I know you come from the Markovia family. Like I would never try to fight you.
I have no interest in fighting.
I know, but I know the history of Kresk. I know what you all did, and I know what your all strength. I wouldn't lie to you, Father.
Henrik, you don't know anything about me, and I'll drop the disguise self. You don't know anything about me.
As soon as you drop it, he like reaches behind him for whatever tools on the table, and just comes back up with like the skinniest fucking chisel.
Yeah, I'll let him grab whatever. I make no move to stop him whatsoever.
Yeah. And he's just like, who? He kind of like looks around frantically, like, who are you?
We met last night. I introduced myself. Is your memory that short?
I think it's best you leave.
I think it's best that we continue this conversation before my friends come. See, right now you're dealing with a logical and patient person. There are very illogical men outside waiting to come in. And I'm going to walk up and take a seat at that chair right there. Not trying to get close to him. He can go wherever he wants to go. I am not in any way trying to stop him. I do, as I sit, I try to subversively cast message outside to X or whoever, really, it doesn't matter, and just say, if he comes out, stop him.
Just keynotes is now that you sit down, you kind of like, obviously you have control of the situation right now. You just kind of like start to like, you start to look around,
Just
right?
just for flavor, I would tell them, the other two up front, if it was to me, to just stand in front of the door. Wait.
Yeah, I was going to add. I know the order puts me at the back, but Lucius, Torin is 100% the closest person to that door right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys should be right there.
Jynx, you notice that so when you were out front, you noticed that most of the windows were covered up. It didn't really bother you all. Like, obviously, it's like a coffin shop, right? It makes sense. It really didn't resonate as, like, weird. Like, obviously, like, privacy with the dead and all that kind of stuff. Now that you're inside, you notice that every window is not only boarded up, but locked from the inside. And not just normal lock. Like, in order for these mechanisms to be released, it would have to be intentional. We're not talking like the old school, like metal fucking slide class. Like, we're talking like these things are locked.
Okay.
Like, reinforced.
Okay.
As you look around, every window has that. Anywhere in the building where, like, you would have like a spacing between like the wood planks where like light could get through, it's been or blocked by different like pieces of wood or with caulk or clay or whatever, you know what I mean? Like whatever they would use back then. Just something of note.
Okay. So I walk up and I sit down and I look up at him and I say, there doesn't need to be any violence here today, but that's up to you.
I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter.
Good. Good, because I very much am.
I'm just protecting myself.
From who? I'm not attacking you.
Yet.
Have I made any violent movement toward you whatsoever? I've been very calm. I sat down.
You're very threatening.
Good.
Not good.
No, not good for you.
Yeah, not good. Please leave.
No. No, I will not be leaving. I'm going to say some things, and I need you to listen very closely. Because if you don't, there's a very, very upset man outside. And if he comes in here, it is highly unlikely that you will ever leave this building ever again. So if you would like to avoid the fight and avoid the violence, it would be in your best interest to have a conversation with me and not to lie through any of it. Understand?
Intimidation with advantage. As he's at disadvantage for this. Because he's scared shitless right now.
So the other part to this to add, just as a flavor
21.
thing, and outside, I'm yelling, is it this place or is it another one?
I'd kind of like jiggle the door. I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
it might be next door.
Stupid.
I rolled a 21, 18 plus 3.
He
It helps, bro.
he is looking extremely worried and extremely scared.
As long as I'm the only one in here,
He
you're
said,
going to be okay.
Okay. Please tell them to stop.
I cast message and I say, chill a little bit.
Oh, man. That's all you can.
And
Oh,
instantly the door rattling and the shouting stops. How was that?
Torin hasn't done anything. Torin's just waiting for that message to go in.
Uh-huh. He did not see me do anything. He did not see me say anything, but everything stopped immediately. That should send an additional message to him. So, go ahead.
I don't want trouble. I know. Okay, I know.
Okay. What do you know?
Why?
I don't want to lead him at all. I want him to just spill his guts.
I know you're here for, and he like kind of lowers his voice and says the bones.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
know.
I am.
Okay? It's not that simple. If I give them to you, I need protection. And
From who?
he visibly just starts you watch as sweat just starts rolling down his head, like he's turning white.
Okay. Protection from who?
Like,
Is it from the big scary guy that runs this place?
he shakes his head.
I'm not talking about Vallaki.
He shakes his head.
Okay, then who?
He kind of leans in and whispers, without actually speaking, he just mouths it. He says, his first wife, Valenta.
Valenta, the one that died.
As soon as, if you're still talking normal level, immediately he's like,
Jynx is going to stand up and start looking around and say, is she here? And he's going to start trying to walk through the house.
no, again, immediately, he comes over and, grabs a hold of you, not in, a violent way, but, a panic,
Yeah.
Stop and listen to me. He's trying to, get your attention.
Okay. I'm listening.
He points towards the front door.
The one that I just walked through.
We talk. And he holds his hands up. It stays unlocked. We talk.
Okay. I grab his hand and I drag him out the front door.
No, that's fine. As you grab it, he's tripping
You're-
over himself. Coming out.
I'm glad you did that, because if he led out first, I was 100% grabbing him and slamming him on the floor.
Now, as I come out, I'm looking for Torin and I'm holding my hand up. Chill.
As you all come out, he kind of this dude is sweating profusely and is just looking terrified. And he turns around just to grab the door and very quietly but still shaking goes to close the door.
Okay. Are we good to talk here, or do we need to go further away?
No, it's fine. We can talk here.
Do we need to whisper, or can we actually talk? I'm not good at whispering.
Then you don't talk. We need to talk low.
Well, then we need to get further away, because I need to talk.
I cannot go further away. That's what I'm telling you. I have to stay here.
But you went to the church. That's further away.
I understand.
Explain.
They always are watching. And he takes a second and paranoid looks around. And he says, "Listen, I didn't mean any harm by it." And he's not sorrowful like fucking Milo was. He's just man to man, justifying his actions, right?
Yeah.
Explaining.
The absolute fucking daggers are in this man right now.
And
he
explains that a man came to him a few days ago and offered a large sum.
How much?
For these bones. And
How
he says
much?
200 gold.
Okay.
He's never seen this man. But naturally it came up, and he would explain that he's hard up for cash right now. He would explain that he was offered 200 gold if he could get these bones for this individual who was dressed and looked like a Vistani. He describes this Vistani to you all, which I'll give you all a picture later of this individual. It's not a Vistani that you all, he says the description, and you all have never seen or interacted with this particular gentleman. Yeah. But he said that it was rightfully his relic from his ancestors, and he was willing to pay heavily for it.
How did he prove that?
Questions.
With the gold.
So he didn't prove it. You just took this stranger's word and betrayed a close friend and took advantage of a young boy. off of a word of a stranger. Is that what you're telling me?
We all do stupid things when we're hard up for money.
Yeah,
You don't use a goddamn
it-
kid.
It
you
has
topped the chart, buddy.
kind of like just takes a second, and internally, like you can tell, like he just wants to scream, but like he just kind of shudders for a second. He's like, as I was saying, I had heard and I had mentioned something of these bones and started fishing around the church. Kids are easy to manipulate, easy to get answers out of.
Well, you're saying all the wrong shit in front of him right now, and I point over to Torin.
He's like, but I'm being honest. You asked for honesty.
You're being honest, and you're right. I did ask for honesty. That still doesn't change the fact that those are not the words you want to be saying in front of him. But please continue.
Anyways, I fished for answers. Not that many people know of the bones, but Yesker spilt the location to Milivoj. And I know Malivoy's hard up for cash, and God bless his soul. It's a terrible situation he's in.
Yeah, well, you put part of that on him, just to be clear.
But it was profitable for him. You have to see it from my stance. I was making sure he had money to feed his family.
Well, so is Father Lucian. He's also making sure he has money to feed his family. But hey, it's all about you. I get it. Please continue.
Anyways, that 2 nights ago, the bones came to me. And currently they are upstairs. They're in my cabinet. In my bedroom. What I didn't know was I was lied to. And I'm being watched constantly
Mm-hmm.
by
going.
entities that are in my house.
Okay, elaborate on that for me.
Listen, just take the bones and go. I'll deal with my own consequences. I'm a fool for trying, and a fool for trying to lie. Just take the bones.
I need you to understand something, okay? Number one, we are all going inside and getting those bones together. You are coming with us. Number two, if I ever get word that you've done something like this to innocent people again, Torin here is going to be the least of your problems. Because we're all coming for you.
As he says that, my shadow just kind of pops out as well, just to add that extra little layer of. Another.
Am I clear?
He doesn't even say anything. He just like slightly nods.
I grab him and kind of turn him toward the door and give him a hard shove. Let's go get these bones.
Immediately, without question, leads you all upstairs, right? So you all would have to go through. So where you all were was the workshop. There was a door to the north. You all would have went in, and it's like a storage room for a bunch of like caskets, right? It's where he keeps all those. There's a door within there that goes up to the staircase, which is where you all just came up, and now you're in like a study area, right? He leads you to bedroom, which is his bedroom, and he points, and he refuses to go in that room. He stays in the study. He just points and says, "They're in the cabinet, just to the right when you walk in."
I wouldn't go into the room. The door where X's fucking wizard is, I'd be standing at that doorway blocking it. He is not fucking running away.
Okay. Before we walk in the room, I will ask him, is there anything that I need to know about opening that cabinet or being in that room? You said you're being watched.
Not, and he takes a second and just says, Not that I know of. I put it in there, and I was told not to touch the cabinet until they came for the bones tomorrow."
I need to let you know that if something happens to one of us while we are retrieving these bones, you will pay the price for it.
He holds his hands up and like in a frantic but like whispering like voice, he is like, I swear, they just
You can
told me not to
swear,
touch it.
swear
I
all you
didn't
want.
do
I get it.
anything. I just
You
I
did
don't.
plenty. You did plenty, which is why you will pay the price. This is the choice on your part. You did not have to do this. You
As you say
chose
that,
to.
like he grabs like this necklace around his neck and just like fucking like starts just fucking uttering a prayer.
Okay. I'll walk over to the door and I'll open it, the cabinet door.
As you walk over and grab the handle of this particular cabinet, two things immediately happen. A which can actually affect you. A poison needle trap from the door handle attempts to go into your hand, but you all hear like a tink, right, as it hits metal on metal. It kind of splits off to the side, and as the door opens, there is the skull in the cabinet. And within that moment, immediately all of you start to hear a deafening sound of a familiar doll and a phrase you've heard before. And as Jynx, as you open the cabinet fully, there is a Blinksy, a voodoo doll head that's hanging by like a thread in there, and it starts screaming extremely loud. Is no Blinksy, is no fun, is no Blinksy, is no fun. It will not stop.
I reach up and crush it in my hand.
And with that, you all from above hear what sounds to be shambling, and it's not a banshee, but I'm going to say like a banshee scream.
Okay.
Or not from above, I'm sorry, from across the hall.
Okay.
And where we will end tonight's session is with this. Give me 1 second.
I would like to take all of the bones and jam them into my bag of holding. That's the first thing I'm going to do.
I got you.
Whenever that time comes.
So essentially, what you see is as whoever's right in front of that door. So that would be what, X.
Connor. He said he was
Technically me.
backing up
yeah.
the door.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
X has a moves carrier, but I'm in that doorway.
So this door slams open, and coming out of the door are two male vampire spawns, and from the top of the ceiling, crawling, is a female vampire wearing a white dress that's blood-soaked, and she's wearing a bone mask, and her head comes out from underneath the door. And that is where we will end session. We will roll initiative right off the bat.
Hell
Next
yeah.
session. And we will go right into combat. As always, thank you for playing my stupid game.